Where are we?
And so you come at last.
Cortana? What is it?
We are Forerunners, guardians of all that exists. Humanity stands as the greatest threat in the galaxy. The Forerunners have returned.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the future of gaming, Halo 4 with Rampancy.net. I'm Narcogen.
And I'm Blackstar, and it's going to be just us today, like old school. Poor Leah Crow, unfortunately, is under the weather. We certainly hope she is feeling better. She said she was, so we hope that continues.
Yeah,
and
everybody
Funk, of course, is working.
Everybody put out a good thought in the universe for Leah Crow feeling better.
Yes, please. For the Discord members, chime in, give your best wishes, and say hello. Okay, so we're going to be continuing on with exciting adventures. Sorry we had to cancel yesterday. I found out very painfully that it turns out that duck egg intolerance is a thing. I'm
not sure that's really a thing. But
no, it is.
Okay.
Seriously, check online. Seriously, for people in the chat, we got Zal in there. Hi, Zal. We got Point Blank. Question Deca. Guys, if you get a chance, check out on Google and look up duck egg intolerance.
Okay.
You will get weird threads. I swear
think you
to God.
can Google anything intolerance and you'll have a self-diagnosed
this is from WebMD. I gotta trust them.
gluten sensitivity answer to something, but not to be picking on anybody. But anyway,
you gotta trust WebMD.
So can you remind me what happened so far in Halo 4? Because to be honest,
no,
I find that challenging, at least compared to Halo 1, where in its first 3 levels, it's like you wake up on a ship on a military where aliens have been fighting humans for decades. You just escaped a battle. They caught up with you. The ship's going to crash. Yep. You have to rescue the AI and rescue some soldiers. And I kind of understand it. And it's like, we woke up next to a big metal ball and there's Covenant there for some reason, but then there's also this ugly guy who looks like Voldemort.
Yes, Voldemort.
That design is really terrible, by the way. I just have to say, I was rewatching the last episode to come up with a thumbnail for this episode, and man, that is some lazy nonsense. I think this whole idea of making the Didact a bad guy and then giving him that Harry Potter design is some bullshit.
Maybe it's just bad timing with the books. And of course, I'm not a Harry Pothead, so I have no clue. Yeah. No offense out there to the fans who are, but I'm just completely out of the loop. Point Blank says, if you're joining us, yolks, haha.
Question Deca says, if you're intolerant to duck eggs, you're probably intolerant to chicken eggs.
Well, here's the thing. I have been eating a lot of them lately, and chicken eggs, I just started to feel like something, but I couldn't really figure out what it was. And then the duck egg just, because whatever triggers that, I think the duck eggs just have way more of it. So it turns out, yeah. But anyway, enough about my problems. So let's go back to the Master Chiefs.
Yeah, back to the Master Chiefs problems.
Yeah, the big bad ball ran away, so now we're on foot.
So mysterious in the chat. Everything about the story in Halo 4 is bad. Everything.
Everything. Well, we're continuing on with Halo 4, the bad story.
So there's, why are we streaming Halo 4? Is there something special about to happen with the franchise? No. This is filler. This is literally filler. We have 2 other games that are big things that we're waiting to do. We're not ready to start either one of them yet. We needed something to do, and this was it.
Yep. Well, see, I'm a completionist at heart, so it turns out
Blackstar suggested it, and I didn't have a good argument.
Nope.
That's it.
So here we are on foot. There's the ball. After obviously a lot of walking.
Hello,
there's
ball.
Infinity. Yep, it's scanning things because it loves to scan. And of course we have an objective behind us for some reason. And of course we got our pistol back.
Hey, backtracking.
Except now the Didact's free to handle it personally.
This is some nice jungle, I will say that. I think this is the first good thing I've had to say about that. I like this. I didn't like the look of almost all the art done to this point.
They must not have received his distress call.
But maybe that just means I have a tolerance to busyness for jungle, and that like I kind of understand that foliage is innately busy.
Yep. Well, the thing is, I don't know if you noticed, but the frame rate on this thing is tanking. It's like really
Yes, I
having
did
a problem.
notice that. But
Okay.
again, we both have launch Xboxes.
Yeah, but see, this is fine.
No bloody S, X,
No.
or Series X.
No, we don't. Yeah, they're just gonna come up with the Xbox sex at some point. And just call it a day.
Film is curious says, Nugget, your argument could have been just no, never. That was my previous argument. I should have
One of
stuck
them's
to
an
it.
officer.
Yep, you should
Check
have,
his
but you
IFF
didn't.
tag.
Oh, so now we get the DMR for the first time.
That guy? Can you look at that guy
What?
again?
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, while we look at this
body
guy-
looked like it was in a weird position, that's all.
I
Okay.
gotta change a setting here because I think I'm getting echo here, and I think it's because I have two things monitoring the same game at the same time.
Oh, okay.
So, bear us with me, ladies and gentlemen, for 2 seconds, because unfortunately, when I switch these setups, oh, in fact, I should make sure that input is correct.
son.
The monitoring, where is the thing? Okay, that should be fine.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, I wanted to test. so
Physics.
I'm gonna. Yay, it's a thing. Okay, because when damn it, now I set the input. When I change inputs in the TV, it takes forever for the thing to sync up. It's never instant. So every time I hit the button, it's happy black screen. For
A1
5
Point Blank is
seconds.
adding some context from the novelizations, I presume.
Is
That
it? Okay. Okay, I think it finished loading.
it's hit the. I guess the didact is pissed off because he's dehydrated, and
Tagadísimas Jimenez, Alo J.
Then Lasky's
and
still
the
out
prisoners
there
of the spherical crypts are supposed to be able to roam the Forerunner domain in digital form, but his crypt was broken, so he's dehydrated and bored.
Okay. Senor, please stand up.
He's got his
got a
twig
twig.
coming out of his ass.
Yeah, that's not the most tenable place for a twig.
No,
Anyway, all right. So where are we going? I've lost my point.
you had one.
But then again, so's the game.
No, you're standing too close to the gun. It wants to tell you to pick up the gun. It doesn't want to tell you anything else.
I know. Ooh,
Oh,
nades.
grenades.
I'm waiting for
Dick
the.
was like, he was in quarantine.
I'm waiting for the. It's not that bad. I'm not saying I want to build a summer home here, but the trees are actually quite lovely. Over here? That's what happens when you lose your
doesn't look
waypoint.
like a way you can go. This is not
No.
Skyrim.
Oh, that's too small. I'm way too big for that. That's
mean,
not gonna let me through. It's maybe
could
I have
be
to go
Skyrim.
around. Okay, here we go. I don't need these lights.
At one point, like I shared, it doesn't come through on the restream chat, but I can see it in the Discord. The installation 00 video on disturbing Forerunner practices, lore, and theory. I will watch that later. I don't think I've seen that.
Okay. Ooh, look.
Mushrooms.
Shrooms.
Oh, see, we're in Morrowind. Awesome.
You know, I like the DMR. You know what was coming out? It was really, really cool.
Doggies. Wait, are those different from what we were seeing before, or are those
No.
the same things?
Those are the same. But
Okay.
the thing is, the DMR, when you start going into tanky enemies, it's like firing Q-tips. It is so annoying.
Great.
Oh, yeah, you so want it to be more expensive. Now, of course, you got the new hotness, which is, oh, yeah, the assault rifle suppressor. Kind of like a needler that doesn't suck.
There's already a needler that doesn't suck. It's called a needler.
It's called the needler.
Lion of Cyborg in the chat. Hi, Lion. How you doing?
Hey, what's up? Welcome to the bad games. We covered all the good ones.
Even the UI is so busy. Like all the extra detail they've added to the HUD here, like this,
Yep.
the stuff on the left, like
Oh,
it's very
all for
distracting.
immersion.
I don't like. It does not immerse me. It distracts me. Now again, I mean, if I was playing, I would likely have tunnel vision on my reticle, and I wouldn't notice it. But here I have the luxury of that. Oh, you got de-resed.
Well, yeah, he was trying to regen him too, and I'm like, nope, you're not bringing him back from the dead.
A1 Point Blank says,
monster.
Forerunners were never really supposed to be good guys. They abused the mantle or responsibility a ton and started unnecessary wars. Only in the context of the external material up to this game. Like, there's none of that material intrudes into the main sequence games 1 to 3 plus ODST/Reach. Especially the other stuff, like the backstory about, you know, like Spartans were made from kidnapped children and they may suffer PTSD and all this stuff. Like, that may all be true, but it's not in the game. And I would say even that the games don't even really support that. And like they went such a different way with the Didact as a character from the terminals in Halo 3 that basically you have to say, well, Didact as a title, not a person, and that was a different one.
Yeah, didn't they say that in last stream? That
Yes.
we had? Yeah. To me, that's retconning.
Yeah, I know, and you know, I mean, people have weird ideas about what constitutes retconning, right? I mean, some people may think that basically that if you don't have a conception of something, you know, or a character or a context, when you start doing it and then you make up a different one or a new one or you add something, then that's a retcon. And I think that's too far.
Hold on.
But I also think...
What was that he dropped on the ground over there?
Oh, that guy's eyeball.
Promethean vision.
Ooh. Is Predator.
Oh, it's kind of like that thing in ODST, except not as nice.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it.
This is what they've been using to see through the fog.
Right, because
Why can't Master Chief see through the fog?
apparently we don't have the technology. We can't build it.
Yeah, this is the... Johnson Minnow says, this is the problem with different levels of canon. Yeah, I know, and I'm very much a primary source guy, and like, I don't like... Even if I like a thing, I'm unlikely to seek out ancillary materials. Zelda says, what's out on the floor? Probably a control gland. No, it's a theropod. Now, what was that eyeball-looking thing? That was not a watcher. What was that?
No, that was a turret. That was one
Turret?
of the...
Oh, okay. Was it a legal turret or an illegal turret? Can you track them if you have a turret tracker?
You'd have to talk to your lawyer about that. I honestly couldn't tell you. That's between you and your attorney. A good one, like this one.
Oh, Zeldar says earlier today he started streaming Marathon Infinity.
Oh, cool. I love Marathon Infinity. Okay, now where am I going? Because now we have thick fog. Oh, all the bad guys.
That is such an aggressive UI.
Oh, tell me about it.
I mean...
It's so busy.
No. Just no, man. Just say no.
Like, what the... No, let's combine the two.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God. We're so honey.
I feel like the FOV is like 30 degrees when you do that.
Oh, it's terrible. It's absolutely hideous. I'm not a fan, you know? And when you go to PC... Not to mention the frame rate, the stuttering is like, okay, we're going in half frames now. It just, ugh. But yeah, especially when you go to PC and you get the absolute full spread, it's like, yeah, you're totally spoiled.
Oh, John says, this is why I like Dead Space. All the expanded universe information stays true to what is presented in the games. No zombie space wizards.
Yes, totally agree. Sure thing, Peters. See you in hell.
Lasky's been through here. Recently by the timestamp.
Oh, we're baddies. And in fact, we were actually talking about doing the extra Dead Spaces. I really want to.
So now, how many human military NPCs have we now name dropped whom we've never actually met any of them yet? Whereas by the same point in Halo 1, like literally there's Captain Keyes and nobody else. Like even Johnson and Stacker
Johnson.
weren't supposed... Johnson didn't have a name in the first game. He was Sniper Sergeant. He never got referred to by name. He didn't have one.
I could have sworn that we had him and Stacker all had names.
Nope.
And Jenkins, what about Jenkins? Jenkins had a name in Halo 1. Oh, God.
Yes, but you saw Jenkins, or at least his recording,
From his tag and
before
recording,
anything else. Here, she's literally talking about Jimenez and Lasky and a bunch of people. We haven't met any of them yet. All we've heard is radio chatter. Point Blank says, you guys ever notice the crosshairs and centered?
No, because there's
None of the Halo
Xbox
games crosshairs
version.
are centered.
No.
They're all below the center line so that you're not always looking at the damn floor. And it's surprising to me that more games don't do the same thing. It's one of those things that's simultaneously revolutionary and obvious, where you'd be wondering, like, why wouldn't anybody do that? Why would you waste art effort on your skyboxes if you're going to nail everybody's eyeballs to the center of the screen and have them play through a game looking at the floor?
In the trees, man.
Yeah, no, there was a bit in one of the early videos, I think, where...
Oh, man.
I mean, I think by the time the game came out, he did have a name, but, like, Johnson was not supposed to be a major character. He's supposed to die in Halo 1, and for the majority of
Got
Halo
another
1's development,
IFF
he was
tag,
called
but as far
Sniper
as I can
Sergeant,
tell,
and
we're
nobody
moving to a
knew
choke
or
point.
cared what his name was.
This may end up as a dead end.
Do you think the voice acting is what did it?
The voice acting and fan reaction, I think, was what did it, and that's why they decided to bring him back and then say, okay, we'll make a ridiculous retcon, who cares? And that's where they came up with Borin Syndrome.
Oh, I remember this originally playing this. I was like, great, and how the hell do we get up there?
Do you have a jetpack yet?
No. No, but there was a question about the ejector, and there was like something about...
Can you not just mantle onto that?
No. Well, there's no mantling yet. See, this actually drove me nuts in the original game, and I think it's because you're
you've got
supposed
to
to come up
platform
this
around
path.
on the trees,
No,
right?
no,
Yeah.
it's a stupid path thing. You're supposed to follow these roots and these trees to come up
Oh,
around
okay,
here, and then come up this way. So it is less than obvious.
I remember everybody always complaining, like Call of Duty fans who didn't like Halo, saying that all of Halo's
That's the
weapons
friend
sounded
of
like
tag, but where's whoever it belongs to?
Fisher Price toys. But I feel of Halo 4's Promethean weapons, it's actually true.
Multiple IDs! Chief, they're friendlies!
Oh, so I can't shoot them, damn.
You guys look
We're
Spartan-ish.
gonna have to give you an IOU on that welcome home party. Tom Lasky, first officer of the Infinity. Never thought I'd see you again.
Seal her up!
These are Spartan 3s, right? Is that the deal?
Yeah.
I thought you'd be taller.
I understood that reference.
Commander, radio's hot.
I was waiting for him to say, I get that a lot.
We need some Captain America for this version. Or maybe just that reference. Maybe just that, Joanne.
Phil says, I hate the human characters in this game.
Infinity.
So does the Covenant.
Commander Lasky, Pelican recon teams are down. Repeat, all birds are down. We got numerous casualties and require immediate assistance. Over.
Finally. Did you get the coordinates of that gravity well?
Affirmative, sir, but we're gonna need a bus out of here.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
John says
gravity
Spartan,
well.
these are Spartan 4s, not
You were
3s.
Oh, the three. Oh, yeah.
Middle of an attack on the ship.
The captain thought Infinity could provide us cover and hold off the attack at the same time.
My God, two things? No
We'll
way.
never get the wounded back to the ship on foot.
Palmer's right.
I don't know if it's
No, I
too
don't
soon
think
to
it
ask
is.
you for
Think
a
you're
favor,
wrong.
but we're gonna run out of breathing room here real quick. I don't suppose you're any good at clearing LZs.
On occasion. I'll send out an all clear once the area is secured.
Phil says Lanky's the worst.
I wish they had made
Topographical
Palmer
scan
a
of the
better
area
character
shows
just
a
because
break
that
in the
is Jennifer
foliage
Hale.
north
I
of here.
like Jennifer Hale.
Should be big
Oh,
enough
well,
to
that's
bring
just
in a
it.
drop
That's
for
hey,
evac.
come back here. I want to steal your weapons. Come back here. Thank you. You can have that piece of shit.
I got contact.
He doesn't have clearance for alien artifacts like that, does he?
I don't give a shit.
Chad is arguing about whether or not Lasky is the worst. I don't have an
let's
opinion.
just say he doesn't distinguish himself in Halo 5.
Calm down, sir.
Out of ammo. And he's... Take that.
Like, when you zoom in, there's stuff that gives you range and elevation, and I'm like, in a game that moves as fast as this, I really don't see what the point is.
Oh, with an FOV of 30 degrees, yes,
I mean,
it's absolutely
not
0 point.
useful.
None whatsoever. Why is he attacking that tree? What that tree do? He's literally staring right at it. Look at this!
Yep.
Why are you staring at the tree, dude? They dropped a very big radio. Again?
Not Covenant.
Yeah, see, to me, this is artificial map lengthening. This is stuff that they did even in Destiny, where it's like, hey, we're gonna do a windy S to get you walking 4 feet so you don't notice you walk 4 feet. And I'm here to tell you, Bungie, I noticed. And I wish you could get the ammo out of those weapons to put in these weapons. But again, that would make sense and or be fun.
Huh, so they are like needlers.
We're getting reports of friendlies pinned down near your position. Can you assist?
Commander, this is Cortana. We're on our way.
Thought he was dead.
I think it's not possible to build up the Forerunners as being these supremely powerful elder race who threatens the Master Chief by saying, you know, I'm sorry, I'm the real deal and I'm now here on the stage, and then seeing that they send little robot doggies who have trouble beating a group of Marines.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that doesn't work out. The escalation is not working in the story's favor there.
Speaking of escalation, this is the handheld railgun.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say, is that an invisible mortar? Because it looked like nothing traveled, but just like the distance blew up. You know, when you pointed it.
Yeah, no, it's a big heavy weapon, but of course it's got a charge time, which of course I hate. I'd much rather have a charge and then I can use it when I need it to. But see, it decides to discharge when it needs to, so you got to time it right every time. And I'm like,
Oh no!
I think you may not be in an entirely safe position behind this box. I could be wrong.
It's about as cover as I can get. And now I'm out of everything.
Weapons empty. Scavenge new weapons on the battlefield. Is that a thing you really need the suit to tell you? I mean, I know they wanted new fans for the franchise, not just people who play the other games.
They gotta come up with people who've never touched this game series before, so I understand why it's there. It'd be nice if there was a preference to turn off suggestions for noobs.
Lance says, railgun is cool, but it takes too long to charge and has no scope.
Yep.
Yeah.
Finding an LZ should be
Totally hate
our top
it.
priority.
I just wanted to show it. I did not want to feel like we weren't covering the
trying to get through
showcasing.
these doors. Look for an interface.
Stop screaming!
What?
There's no reason to be screaming right now!
Yeah, she did an emotional flip just there. Like, she was calm 1 minute, and then like, ah!
Yeah. Well, insert Cortana. That's what it
Excuse
said.
me?
These doors
That's
open
what
into
it
a
said.
cave system with a space large enough for an LZ. Hold them off long enough for me to open the doors.
Again, why are you screaming?
I guess they assumed that you would come up to the door when the fight was still on. And then, of course, the fight continues, so...
Now, this I liked.
How much ammo has this thing got, though?
Not a lot. Because the way that it works is that the more fun a weapon is, the less ammo of it you have.
Right, and it was not a fixed burden for you to sit behind in this game, right?
Oh, well, there was, but it's
right.
in a
Why not
place
do
which
that?
is
Why not do that?
not remotely effective.
See, I will always take infinite ammo over effective, because infinite
Really?
ammo is always effective.
Nah, infinite ammo is overrated, because all it does is it means that the bad guys have to stand exactly where you're pointing, which never happens.
Yeah, but if you wait long enough, the enemies will always be standing directly in front of you.
You'd think that.
Bet you can't stick it, Mr. Chief.
Thought I'd deploy mine along with his. Here we go. That guy. Oh, this older guy. Okay, he's toast.
Cortana, how close are we?
What was that?
I think she was having a moment. Just to let her know that
Did they give
her...
Cortana a soundboard for this game?
No, it's just a showcase of her rampancy.
I literally thought she was playing a musical clip there. That's what it sounded like to me.
Nope. Well, they have to give her voice an effect. Point blank says, "Bet you can't remount it, Master."
In the future of gaming, Cortana is a TikTok teen.
Oh God, no.
Cortana, the K-pop stan.
I was gonna ask if you wanted this spot. Mind your manners.
I want to bring another one. Now, sadly,
Mind
they
your
did
P's and
kill.
Q's.
Yeah, they did kill the rotation on this, so yeah, you're basically pointing in one direction at all times. It takes forever to turn.
I'm sorry about back there. That hatch of security was more difficult than I expected.
It's all right.
It's not all right. Nothing about it is all right.
I know, but I was just saying that.
That's silly.
No,
It sounds
make you
like
feel
she's
better.
apologizing for being shouty, which is worse than just
Oh
being
no,
shouty.
it was the tone. It was the total tone about, you know.
I'm not gonna tone police Cortana. Well, okay, let me put it this way. I'm gonna
Nice.
stop tone policing Cortana.
Wait, what's he doing?
Covenant?
They're working with the Prometheans?
Well, that was fast.
Well, that's reason enough to kill them. This is the toughest grunt ever. He's taking 50 cal rounds in the chest. It's like, what the hell?
I guess you don't have the Arbiter's number. You can't give him a call and say, "Hey, man, what's up? I mean, what's with this? Thought we had a deal."
Oh yeah, they do that.
So technically, who added teleporting bullcrap first? Was it
shocked how quickly
343
the
with
guy
Halo
back
4, or
unified
was it
Covenant.
Bungie
Oh, no,
with
I
Destiny?
think it was Bungie. I think they had that kind of stuff.
Didn't this come
similar.
out before Destiny 1?
Oh, it did.
I don't remember.
But I think Bungie had it in their earlier games even before 4.
No, it didn't though. Like Reach.
Yeah, they had
Reach
they had
doesn't
stuff
have
with
any
the elites
teleporting
that
enemies.
was very dodgy.
Ah, they got
like,
dives. I mean, like, and yeah, functionally, that could be just as bad, given how unrealistically fast they could move, but it's not actually teleporting. Oh, Line's gotta go to dinner. See you later.
Bye. Thanks
See you
for
later.
joining.
Have a good time.
Catch the stream later when you finish. Take my turret, you jerks.
Shut.
Damn it.
I still do not understand the creative decisions behind that animation. I just don't.
I'm gonna spawn this from my chest dramatically. That's why.
It seems like that sound effect is gonna be like.
Yeah. No other
all the
explanations required.
inappropriateness that connotes. Denotes? Is that denotes?
Yeah.
Phil says that Cortana scene is a setup for a scene that's one of the worst scenes in any medium. No one behaves rationally except for one character, the captain, who is presented as a bad guy.
Well, see, I wanted to get your feedback on that because we haven't met him yet, but I know you're gonna have an opinion.
Yeah, because Lasky's the first officer. I just noticed that he was pointed out like, oh, you're the first officer. Where's the captain?
Yeah, we may have to go save him, but in this game we don't want to.
Doors breached! Doors breached! All units return to Infinity immediately. That's an order.
I was gonna cross the Infinity Bridge, but I didn't have time.
To Rally Point Alpha Sierra Foxtrot. Until we catch up, you have tactical command of the forward assault force. Rendezvous with those men and take back that ship.
Yes, sir.
Good luck, Chief. Lasky out.
This is Pelican 595. We have the Chief on board and are outbound for Rally Point Alpha Sierra Foxtrot.
Weapons free, Chief. Let him have it! We're good to go, Chief.
The tank?
The
Oh,
Chevy's
all right. If you
starting.
insist.
Here's where the fun begins.
Oh, they really boosted the base on that.
Oh god, yeah, you kidding? This whole game is base boosted. More is better.
Oh, Jail says, I swear YouTube is getting low on the notification front. Sorry I'm late, guys.
Oh no, hey, it's not your fault. I blame multimedia corporations.
I'm sure they are. I would say if you use Twitter, look for Narcogen there, because I usually try to tweet like half hour before we go live and then as we go live.
Oh, well, that guy just lost his crew, so he's scrolling back to the tank.
Or Discord, because there's a notification in Discord as we go live as well.
This guy is like, somebody want to drive here? It's like, no? Okay, I'll drive.
Lasky, we're touching down just north of your position. Proceed to starboard hangar 2-19, and we'll link up with you there.
What? I didn't catch that. I'm blowing up the shit.
There's a weird way in which the constant urgency from all the dialogue and the music gives the impression that this is a much smaller space,
Yes.
or that all the encounters that are going on in a more compressed space than in Halo 1.
Oh, time to back up.
Jail asks, is this the entry that also features the scanner? I think that chat is about Metroid Prime. There's a sub-chat going on about Metroid games, which I played none of and am barely aware of. Oh wait, I thought you were going to take out that warthog.
I'm just that good. Of course, I may blow him up just for fun. Because all he's doing is getting in the way. Doesn't he see that he's basically driving where I'm aiming downrange. It makes no sense to have him on
Wilson
point.
says, are we on Discord now? And they don't know that their chat is literally going on in Discord because Restream connects that. So yes, you are in Discord. Hold on a second. I'll pop up the Discord link. There we go.
Just to prove it?
I think that still works. I think that should be a non-expiring Discord link.
We need to get a tiny URL for that.
That one's already pretty
See, I
tiny.
did
It's
it.
only
He
longer than
drove
I put
right
in the
in front
full
of me.
ATTBS.
Enemies in our section. Contacts are engaging.
Now, I will say this. The tank is fun no matter where you play it, in which game.
Oh, you got an achievement.
Nice. Especially after I just blew up my own guy.
Neutralize that ghost. Selecting contact.
Who's talking now? Is that Master Chief?
That's one of the other guys. No, that's not the
Okay.
Master Chief. You know his voice.
Well, that's why I was confused. I didn't know who else was supposed to be talking here.
I don't see anybody on radar, do you?
No?
Okay, because I was still getting some fire from a direction that made absolutely no sense.
Engaging hostile. Down. Eyes on multiple hostiles. Engaging.
Wow, those guys do not distract easily.
No, they do not.
Like, they didn't even look this way.
Most disciplined grunts ever.
Question
Men,
Deck is like, oh, this
hangar
tank
bay
has
doors
windows.
feel
Why does it have windows? Does it have windows?
We have contacts firing.
Oh, Once in a Blue Moose says join the chat. Hello, Once in a Blue Moose. Tank beats moose. Tank beats hippos. Tank beats nippos. And everything. Why does... Jail asks, why does Halo 4 incorporate the burning foreground ashes seen in multiple action movie posters to the gameplay? I don't know. Oh, we're actually fighting inside the hangar now, huh?
Yep. Well, it is a big ship.
It's not merely a big ship, it's an infinite ship.
You gotta admire the balls in the Covenant for them to be standing in front of a tank and not going.
Lasky this radio. You
I
picked a
can't
hell
hear
of
a damn
time
word
to
that
rejoin
NPC
us.
is saying.
Sir, what's our status?
That satellite took
Loud.
down the ship's defenses and is extracting data from the ship's mainframes as we speak.
Can
My
we break
God,
the
they're
connection?
stealing all our
Main
MP3s.
point of contacts on the ship's upper hull. The fastest route is through the maintenance causeway.
Why does your computer have a connection on the hull?
Take it.
Why is this hanging in the air? You see this? They had a warthog on top of that. Why?
Well, what? I assume what? You're going to have pelicans hanging from the cranes above, and you're going to use the scissor lift to lift the warthog up to attach to the underside of it.
It
I'm
literally
guessing.
looks like they're putting it there so that somebody can't steal it. It's like the ultimate LoJack.
I don't think that's the idea.
I don't think so either, but you know, that's what it looks like. Okay, running. Oh yes, must get to objective and the push button.
Oh, is this where they intro the mechs?
Yep. And this where the game completely devolves.
Now, this is the first game with this, right? Because this was not
Yes.
in
Attached
Reach
to
at
maintenance
all.
causeway is jammed.
No.
Let's do something about it.
Now, I will say this
Okay,
also
so-
is incredibly
so
fun. It's a vertical tank.
Mechs in Halo is not Bungie's fault.
No.
Just to be clear. Okay. I was
But
pretty sure, but
sadly-
I wanted to check.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun, but ugh. I don't know if I like mechs in my Halo.
Well, I mean, look, it throws off the hierarchy completely of where you think Spartans should be. You basically say, like, look, this is just an ordinary device. It looks like entirely human technology. Why can't you just manufacture a bunch of these and give them to your soldiers? What the heck you need with Spartans for then?
Exactly. Do you know what I mean? It's like, hey, game breaking.
And Jail's like, what? Mech Warrior? Sure, why not? What was that other one? What was the mech game that I had on the original Xbox? Was it Mech Warrior? Was that the one? Was that one?
One of them. Well, you know what's funny? John Cimino is actually a huge mech fan. He'd be able to tell you.
Because I know that there's a bunch of major franchises like Armored Core and stuff like that.
Oh, I forgot about it. Yeah, we're supposed to take out these stupid turrets.
The question, Dick, is a Spartan is smarter. Yeah, so, I mean, okay, you need something to crawl through a vent, I guess. But most of Halo takes place outdoors. Spartans cost the same as a whole fleet. I wonder what Spartan mechs cost. Yeah, but you know, look, I mean, it's government. It's government printing the money, you know? I mean,
you don't even.
There's never actually any shortage of money for defense research. There just isn't.
Why don't these things have AIs in them and just blow things up?
Why doesn't the ship have a counterintelligence AI to solve the problem of you have Covenant breaking into your mainframe from the outside of the ship? I don't know.
That would make sense. And why do I have to fire 4 rockets at once? Can't I just fire one at a time like a normal version?
Once in a blue list points it out. Cortana in a Master Chief in a mech in a tank in a really big ship. It's kind of like a Halo turducken.
Oh, did you goose the audio down a little bit? I forgot to check.
It is down a bit. You want me to trim down a bit more?
I just don't know if Chad is having a problem with the levels because I didn't get a chance to set up the.
I'm down 5. Yeah, I know you're not sidechaining. We're down about 5.
No, as long as you did it. As long as you did it once.
Our voices should be louder than just about anything. So.
Yeah, Chad, if you have a problem with audio, just let us know, because this is not to our normal standards.
Yeah, we did not go the extra yard as we normally would for this.
Nope. This is all quick and dirty.
Yeah, I'll go down to -6.
Couldn't, well, especially now, because everything is super loud.
Okay, question Decker says, Halo 5 is why. I believe Infinity does have an AI, but it's not Forerunner, so it's not using Forerunner tech, not special like Cortana is special. Press right bumper to overload Mantis hydraulic systems. Why would we want to do that?
To stomp. It literally has a stomp mechanic.
Why not just say stomp then, so I would want to do it? I mean, when it says to overload systems, I'd be like, but why would I want to overload this system? That's not a thing you want to do.
Icky no sensey.
Oh yeah, we have point back attack. Can you do a melee stomp?
Not doing Infinity any good down here if the Didact's linked in from the outer hull.
Live free or Didact. It's definitely, as Altair says, it's definitely Metal Gear.
We've identified several Covenant jamming devices on the outer hull.
That might be how they're blocking the Infinity's defenses.
All right, Covenant, prepare to be jammed.
So we can get our guns back online and show that satellite we're more than just a big
Raspberry.
We're on it, Commander. Cortana out.
Only one Forerunner would dare.
That does not even make any sense. Comparing a satellite to a paperweight makes no sense whatsoever.
Nope.
I don't care if you even thought you were being really clever with the idea that, like, people in this part of the future don't even know what a paperweight is or was for. That doesn't make any damn sense.
Are we paperless by now?
You'd think. I mean, we run into some hilariously large remote computer terminals through the Halo Center. I don't remember coming through a lot of papers or folders or desks or typewriters. It's not Fallout.
First jammer disabled. That's 2.
Damn it, I'm empty.
I love that this is so brave. He comes and runs right at you. Do you not see what I'm in?
Yeah, I don't know.
They just have no sense of self-preservation at all.
Except we know they do. Like, I mean, we've seen them run away. We know they know how to run away. Can you not just blow up the whole Phantom?
I don't know.
No?
Good question.
Yep, there you go. You got some stuff behind you on your left, too.
There, we stomp him. There we go. Squished.
Does the mech have its own shields? Yes, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah. Where's that ship? Okay, oh, there it is. It's hiding behind the giant turret. They should be shooting.
Oh, Question Dick says humanity will never be paperless. Probably not. But I'm just saying, like, there's no... I don't remember there being any significant graphical representation in the Halo franchise of paper documents. I'm not saying, you know, they're saying it's paperless, but I'm just saying there's no reason for Lasky to know what a paperweight is. He's making an anachronistic reference, and I don't think the writing is clever enough to suggest that he misunderstands it. I just think they were being lazy and dumb when they wrote that line.
I just think the writers don't think too far ahead on when we are.
Oh. Question Dick says, also notice the Covenant are using green power and fuel and flame effects rather than purple. That is true. I don't know why. The Covenant have gone green. They're now more ecologically responsible. They're no longer using fossil fuel to power their Phantoms. And of course, in this sense, fossil fuel would be spelled P-F-H-O-S-S-I-L. P-F-H-U-E-L. Fossil fuel. Oh, nice curve shot there. Oh, wow. Okay, that thing is made up of way fewer parts than it seemed. Like, that thing loses 25% of its mass when it gets destroyed. They're like, there's nowhere
hey, mass
near
costs money. We're not going to render every mass.
We're watching this one, Jelly. This is Blackstar playing. I'm on the bench. I was willing to come off at the moment it seemed that you were having too much fun by yourself, and yet it hasn't happened yet.
Nope. See if we can go and stomp this.
Mama said there'd be lifetimes like this.
Now, quick, disable humanity. We have to go over and get out of this thing and push this button.
I was going to say, can you operate the button inside the mech or not?
I wanted to stomp it, but apparently I can't. There we go. Okay. Oh, well. No, we can't save humanity.
Because nobody could do this except us.
Right.
Nobody can turn on this gun. What is this ship? How does this ship operate this gun when we're not around?
Well, obviously they have somebody stand at the controls.
Is it?
Del Rio to infinity, all hands. We are condition yellow. Stand down. Section heads reporting.
The funny thing is, one of the only things I remember from the original Halo novelizations was like how ridiculously anachronistic and antiquated the idea of the Mac gun was supposed to be. This idea of an extremely large physical projectile.
Yep.
And they talked about, well, you could take out a Covenant cruiser with it, but like...
Where the hell did those things come from?
It's possible
Does
that
it
they're native
matter?
to or whatever counts as native for a Forerunner AI.
We've never seen this type of offensive reaction from any of the other installations.
Other installations?
Mr. Lasky.
Infinity's mission has been to locate the remaining Halo rings and establish permanent bases to study them for decommission.
Okay, that is the first reasonable thing anybody in this thing has said.
Lately, they've run into some setbacks.
A science team got zapped excavating a Forerunner artifact. This sensor data is all that was left.
Interesting. These symbols are a derivation of the Forerunner glyph system.
And our geeks managed to pull some coordinates. I'll give you 3 guesses where it led.
Sir, Gypsy Company is prepped and ready to roll on your orders.
Thank you, Palmer. Mr. Lasky, you take point. I want boots on the ground in 60.
Captain.
Can't imagine folding your hands behind your back like that is comfortable in those suits.
Contact scenario, Master Chief. Priority
is to free Infinity from Requiem's gravity well and file a threat assessment back at FleetCom.
You mean we're leaving?
Sir, Infinity drove the Didact back. He's vulnerable.
He isn't the only one.
The only
I
one
think
what?
You, of all people, would appreciate the benefit of living to fight another day.
Jail says, do not approve the Cortana redesign too voluptuous. I agree. They made her face more childlike and her body more sexualized, and it's kind of creepy.
Yeah, I remember mentioning that before, and everyone jumped on me.
But
like,
oh, Commander Shepard at last.
So much better.
Yay!
Ace is like, I hate this part. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this section either. It's a little frustrating.
The first thing to me that I heard that sounded like a reasonable follow-up to, like, why are you doing this, is the idea that, well, you know what, after what happened, we decided we ought to go to the other Halos and investigate them. I'm like, oh, that sounds a reasonable thing to do. Why don't we go do that?
A little obvious.
Why don't we go do that? Why aren't we doing that?
Why aren't we playing that game?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Ace says, I hate this part. Del Rio looks like Lieutenant Gorman rather than Drake.
The air corridor to the gravity well is blocked by a network of particle cannons. Infinity's shields are still down. Open the lane for us to move up and provide air support.
Captain, what's Force Recon's assessment of the terrain?
I know you've been off the field for a while, Master Chief, but this is a blow-through op. Sending in a recon would just slow us down. Telemetry indicates the particle cannons are being controlled from a command post southwest of our position. Roll on that target and neutralize those guns. We'll meet on the other side and take the gravity well. Infinity out.
Okay, Lelo Jello joins us in the YouTube chat. Hello, Lelo Jello. Lelo Jello says there's a large mommy Cortana contingent, but H2 classic Cortana was peak Cortana. I don't know, I like Halo 1 Cortana. That's kind of where my loyalty lies. This whole cutscene made me wonder if there was a level cut from this game.
Wouldn't be surprised.
CIC. Commander Lasky's waiting for you on the Mammoth.
On our way.
Yes, Commander Shepard.
Ooh, I want to steal this guy's sniper. Give me. Thank you. No, I don't have to kill you.
We were just in a room with that guy. But then suddenly we're on a Pelican taking orders from a hologram. Like, couldn't he just tell us that before we got in the thing? I mean...
No, of course not. It wouldn't have been dramatic enough.
Exciting.
Papa Foxtrot 766 to Spartan Paul.
Yeah, and welcome to the truck.
Okay, is this the elephant, or is this a different thing than the elephant?
No, I think that's pronounced Oliphant.
Whatever.
I don't know.
The XO is looking for you up on the action deck.
Quick, so go through here so we can take a look at the inside so we can show off the action
Now, they
deck.
had these in, was it Reach or Halo 3 multiplayer that had Oliphants in them?
Nah, it was in one of them.
It's one of them. But they weren't in the campaign, as far as I know.
Chief.
You're a little vulnerable out here, sir.
Unfortunately for us, we've got to manually bring down a couple of particle cannons before we can get to the command.
Oh, God. Sorry, I don't know if I could do this justice. One's in a blue moon in the chat is, his name's Del Rio and he's dancing over the sand. He's hopping mad cause Lasky flew his ship across the Rio Grande.
Oh, man. All right, E wins the internet today. Thank you, Moose.
Yes, thank you. Question Decker says either a cut level or a cut scene. People prefer cut scenes. Cut scenes, yes.
Yep. Well, you wanted to know when we got a jetpack.
Oh, hey, all right.
We got a jetpack.
This is Captain Del Rio.
Yes, you again.
And this guy is absolutely spazzing. What is this guy's problem?
Relax.
He is like freaking the F out.
Okay, Gypsy, time to work for it. Let's shake some dirt.
Now, if you just fall off this thing and get left behind, do they let you catch up with it, or is it at a mission failure?
I want to know why we have a convenient road that is just big enough for the most behemoth vehicle ever.
Ace says this is not the Oliphant, this is a Mammoth. This is something else.
So much better.
It's bigger, I guess. It's like the Oliphant, but furrier. As in, it has its own furrier.
Targeting Pelicans are in position near the particle cannons, waiting for the Mammoth's mini-map
Okay, so this is a goofy thing where you've got to switch between these guns based on which side the target is.
Oh, so it's a railgun sequence.
Yes,
Great.
That's why I said I didn't like it.
Pelican, fall back.
Oh, we lost Pelican.
Nah, they can always make more. Aren't you on the wrong side?
Yep.
And of course, there's no way these weapons can be operated remotely from, you know, a safe room inside the vehicle. No way.
That would make sense.
Any reasonable person would.
I think I might have to go down there and go around.
Oh, do you? Is there a thing to go do?
What? Well, that's what the jetpack's for.
Oh, okay, I see. Jill says, if this was Mass Effect 3, the only thing you'd have to do in a section like this is nothing at all.
Am I going up? No,
I
it's
don't
gone.
know.
So
isn't this a
what's it expect me to do?
destroyed sniper perch? What is the point of this?
Yeah, well, there was a thing over here I was supposed to actually hit. I don't know.
There's a
maybe it's
gold
confused.
chest down there.
I know, that's what I was looking for.
Okay, so you don't get dinged for leaving the vehicle. You can get back on
no.
it.
It allows you to
Okay.
hang
Oh, but
out.
they don't open the door. Hey, let me in. Open the door.
Nope. In fact, I want to see if I can get run over. I didn't actually try if I can get run over.
Oh, can you?
Nope, it won't let you.
Oh, okay.
Disappointing. I wanted to see if I could actually get squished.
Anyone still alive?
We're here. We're alive. We've got the target designator.
Get used to it. Oh wait, that's not how that goes. I missed a bit.
Heads up, Gypsy. Dropships on approach.
Retrieve the target designator.
Yeah, so the point over on the right. This is one that I gotta jump off.
Okay.
Ghost on approach.
Whoop. That doesn't seem terribly effective.
Nope. Oh, I forgot this is killer water. I forgot about that. I was trying to flank it. Yep.
So you're John Marston now.
Yep. No, I was trying to speed run it. I figured I would just flank all the way around, but I forgot they put the water there to say, no, you can't do that. That's tactical thinking. You can't have fun.
Chief,
These
not
things are
waterproof.
so hard to hit. You've got like a sliver on top of their heads, and that's it. So it's like, unless you're in a vehicle, it's like you're boned. And of course, they can go very high.
I didn't think anyone would hear me.
Okay, now I got the laser designator.
Get you out of here.
Oh, so you're gonna use Hammer of Dawn. Neat.
Yep.
Target those phantoms for the railgun to shoot down.
Where's my target? Oh, yeah.
Target acquired.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because without this little device in my hand, there's no way we could possibly
I know.
shoot that.
Satellites don't exist.
Who needs satellites? Binoculars. I'm sorry, we can't shoot that one?
He's out of range. Oh, no, out of ammo, it says. Does that apply to the designator?
Oh, maybe I can only shoot 2 targets? I don't know, I forget.
I mean, maybe there's a cooldown?
Oh,
I
no,
don't
no,
know.
they want us to neutralize the big thing. Okay. I guess we can do that.
Oh, alright. Okay.
So
Sounds
they
like
won't
an
let you
idea.
waste it. There we go.
Target's aggressed. Nicely done, Chief.
Railgun reloaded.
Can't we just stick a binocular on this thing and aim it at the Didax thingy and go home? I mean,
No, that would make sense.
oh. If Marines could do this, why did we have to do it?
Again, it makes no sense. Make you feel like you're, part of the team? No.
But no joy on additional targets. Gypsy moving on to secondary battle position, but requesting evac for casualties.
I'm on it, Commander. Palmer out.
Waiting for Del Rio to go in. We don't take casualties. It'll just slow us down.
I'm the bad guy. Let me showcase how bad I really am. I love how your rocket is not fast enough to actually keep up with the movements of this vehicle.
This very slow vehicle.
They're very slow. I mean, you jump up, it's like it gets away from you, and I'm hitting the rockets. It's like, what's wrong with this picture? Okay, can I shoot this thing?
Target
no, it won't let me.
Get out of ammo again.
Banshees!
Whoop, whoop. I feel like there's too many things competing for your attention.
A million. Even for a rail shooter.
Like, none of the individual elements are allowed to shine because there's like, look, that thing.
Nope.
Oh, look at that other thing. Hey, look at this thing too.
Yep. It's like you're in the middle of craziness.
Toast, phantoms. Oh my.
Phantoms, exactly. They're throwing you the kitchen sink.
Force field. Barricading the far side of
No, a
the
force field. Oh my god.
I'm seeing 3 power sources. Shut them down so the mammoth can move through.
Mammoth kill. And Phil says, Narc, you're thinking with portals. You need to be thinking with halos.
Yep. And of course it's like, oh, he's got a sniper run. Oh, he could actually do some damage. There we go. There's a hit. And to be honest, what's really fun is that if you had enough ammo, you could just like stay here and literally like clear the room.
Well, that's how I would be playing.
This is how anybody with half a brain would do it. It's like, I'm on this giant mechanized vehicle of which they cannot get me, and I have a sniper rifle. What else does one need?
Woohoo!
If they had any brains, they would retreat under that shield canopy and look for an opportunity.
That shot needed a Wilhelm scream.
Nice.
I got the wheel, people.
Yeah, he's like unwieldy right now.
Can't get one of the other weapons on him from here, or?
I've got like one shot on the little sliver if he holds if he holds
No,
still,
I mean
which
one of the
he
weapons
won't.
on the vehicle.
Oh, no. Here's the stupid part. The big giant mechanized vehicle, they're like, oh, no, it's too scary. They have a shield. We can't go around the corner. Chief, you go by yourself and you take care of it. Seriously, that's what they're doing. And of course, there's not one, but 2
Weapons
different things that
empty.
you have to deal
Scavenge
with.
new weapons on the battlefield.
Yeah, coming out of snipers.
Press S to scavenge. Well, those first 4 bullets to the face didn't hurt him, but that 5th one, man, that was it.
I'm gonna beat the snot out of this thing.
Seems like this is going to take
like,
a while.
It's useless. Oh, tell me about it. Let's see if I can
Got a
bait
sticky nade?
Yeah.
It doesn't
stick.
Good. 2 more.
Man.
2 more? I thought there were only 2.
Wraith!
Somebody had to make a design decision at that point, which is like, no, the stationary target, when you throw the sticky nade at it, it should bounce off.
Yeah.
We can't let anybody experience the satisfaction of blowing this up by having the grenade stick to it. It has to bounce off. And if it lands close enough, it will destroy the target, but, you know, it might not. So then you might have to spend another one, because realism, I don't know. Like, why? Just why? Oop. No, run around the back. Come on. Don't do this.
I want him to shoot at me and blow himself up.
Run around and board.
See? Like that. Yeah, like that. I just wanted him closer. Oh, Hold on, I gotta get the turret there. Man, this turret guy does not want to die.
Nope.
Ah, run. I do like the radar is more detailed, though. I don't want to think like
says this reminds me of the Taken event from Destiny with the bubbles.
Yes.
Yes, the one that nobody knows how to make go heroic. Are you guys in here just waiting? I guess so.
Shield disabled. Mammoth, the path is clear.
Mammoth holding position.
This is the one I want.
I don't see how those pose the threat to the Mammoth at all.
Okay, get him down.
Question Decker says, anti-stick covenant surfaces. Stickies don't stick to the ship bulkheads, do they? No, but they do stick to wraiths and ghosts. So... And these sniper perches, they stick to that. Are you
I'm sorry,
okay?
am I interrupting?
Are you okay? Okay.
The good thing is, there should be some good guns over here.
No, there should be, but all there was those.
I'm gonna use my laser designator because nobody has a laser pointer anywhere.
Shot's good. All units, unidentified Covenant vehicle incoming.
Oh, so what's this thing?
I don't know, it's a big gun.
Traction offline. Primary power controls offline.
Got a weird face.
Oh my god! They hit our tires!
Looks like they made the Baron von Harkonnen into a ship.
I guess it's supposed to be like a heavy transport that has a gun on it or something? And I'm on easy, so this must be across the whole, all levels.
Once a Blue says, I must admit this level's scenery reminds me the most of Halo, the Ark in particular. Yeah, it could be, but you know what though? I could imagine like, remember the multiplayer maps that had the Oliphant in them? They had really big and open, and there was even an area you could go outside the play area where it was just like mines and stuff that would kill you. Like I really feel they've made this a narrow twisting valley in a very traditional way to keep you in the linear path of gameplay. But I wonder, like, what would the fault really be if you just made it a big open desert with a few oases that you traveled between them? And you're like, yeah, okay, you can wander off the desert if you want. You know, there's no point to do it, but you could, and you wouldn't feel like the game was funneling you into a narrow area.
Reinforcements.
Like you would funnel yourself into the encounter area to be near the objectives, to take out the targets, to protect the vehicle and the soldiers, and it would feel less like the whole area is just this valley.
Yes, or this path, because that's all you're on. You're on this one path that winds. It just happens to be as wide as your vehicle.
Oop. Yeah, you're gonna have trouble if you have to depend on the NPC gunner here.
Well, I do. I'm by myself. I think that's it. Oh wait, nope. Spoke too soon.
Ship settling in over the mesa. There's a grav lift into the belly of that ship. Time it right, and
settling?
you should be able to ride it inside.
I would say I'd join you for the Warthog segment, but this Warthog sounds terrible.
Oh, it's hard. It's like a motorbike. I'm not going to go up that way. I have a jetpack.
Once a Blue asks, is it a black mesa?
Don't qualify it.
Oh, no, that's not what you want there.
Of course not. I'm just changing it up.
Although, actually, that seems more effective than it should be. It seems like the needles are tracking right to the gap in the shield when like in Halo 1, they just would be bouncing off.
Oh, I'm trying to set. Okay, there we go. Like, it wasn't letting me.
Jail says, I hate to say it, but Mass Effect Andromeda's vehicle exploration was more fun. That might have been about the only thing going for it.
Yeah, strangely enough. And yet, it was so underutilized.
Well, you know, I don't even know if we can even say that. Like, maybe there's some really cool planet reveal exploration that we never got to because we gave up so early.
Well, it was just the fact you felt
gotten
like
any
a fetch
closer to
quest.
finishing that.
Neither have I.
That's all
we
they were
may
like,
visit it
"Lol,
as a joke.
Abandon ship, Chief. It's going to blow.
Isn't it always?
The streaming channel I watch with the British guy there, Many a True Nerd, he has currently been streaming. I think he does a thing where like his Patreons vote on what they're going to stream, and like last couple of weeks it's been insanity mode difficult Mass Effect 1.
Oh my god, that must be so hard. Golden God Knight says, let's play Myth 2 instead.
That thing literally disappeared before it exploded.
Yes!
All hands form up on us.
Lasky, this is Infinity. Status.
Mammoth's in pretty bad shape, sir. She'll make it to the
What?
objective.
It's perfectly fine!
Does it actually have a damage bar? Like, was there a
Not that
way
I
you
can
could
see.
lose the sequence if the vehicle got too damaged?
Yeah.
Roger that, sir. Gypsy, let's move.
I just love how this map is just wide enough.
Company, Castle Company.
Yeah.
Put some pressure on the
Especially since they did no reconnaissance, so they couldn't have known it was big enough.
No.
They told us they did no reconnaissance because that would just waste time.
And yet we're driving a vehicle weighing the size of a small New Hampshire town right next to this cliff edge.
Happy Pride. Nice rainbow there.
Terrain's too rough around these tributaries.
Plot health, Narc. Just plot health.
Anyone not on board is getting left behind.
This question, Deca.
Alright, seal her up. Mammoth is mobile.
Are you trying to let this thing kill you?
Yes.
They don't.
Ah!
But again, killer water!
Casualty.
Seriously, it kills you if you step in a foot of water. It is amazing, this game.
Like I said, you're John Marston.
Castle, reading 555. On station, ready to assist. Shadow action to Infinity.
Once our Blue Mats asks, does Oliphant beat Tank? I don't know, but Mammoth does, right? Because this is actually a Mammoth.
These tributaries. Assault force, back on the Mammoth.
Lelo Jello says, Mass Effect 1 on the highest difficulty is straight brutal. I've done it on New Game Plus because no way in hell I was going to do that with starter equipment. Ditto. That is the only way I have ever done that. I actually did 3 runs of Mass Effect 1 on 3 consecutive levels of difficulty, and I would never have attempted that highest level without the equipment you got from the other runs.
Okay. How is putting you at risk because I can't hold it together okay?
Yeah, Deca says it's probably not water. Oil, perhaps.
Understand what rampancy is? Really? We don't just shut down. Our cognitive processes begin dividing exponentially according to our total knowledge base. We literally think ourselves to death.
It affects our voice filters first.
Well, of course, otherwise you won't know what's happening.
Also, my passive-aggressive circuit turns on and I can't disengage it.
See, we are literally driving in an S.
Yep.
Go, Commander.
We got significant blockage up ahead. I think this is a
He says, here we go again. Yeah, I know, right?
Post for the particle cannons is through that trench.
We're actually just doing a colonoscopy on the planet at this point. You know, we're going around S-bends looking for blockages.
Lasky out.
What that? Oh, okay, sniper.
Yeah, but only like, what, 12 rounds?
Heads up!
Yeah? What? So there says, why does Cortana look like Sadako from the Ring series? I'm expecting her to suddenly crawl out of the window.
I wouldn't put it past this game. Right?
Yeah, I don't like the arc that they gave with Cortana. I think it's very out of character for her. I think even if these events were what you were planning on having done, I think the characterization
Execution
is off.
Is just not as good.
Yeah, I do, and I don't think it's Jen Taylor's fault in the least. And
oh God, no.
And
we shared M&Ms once. How many people get to say they've shared M&Ms with a Cortana?
Oh, Little Jello says, significant blockage. Lasky needs to go easy on Taco Tuesday. Jeez. Phil Mysterious says, please note for later, even Cortana acknowledges she's a danger to those around her. You would wonder at this point, given that we've spent significant portions of previous games without her assistance because she was incapacitated, missing, or busy doing something else, that if she really felt she was a danger, taking herself out of the situation somehow would seem to be a reasonable alternative. But I guess that's not happening. But simultaneously, it also doesn't seem like any of the functions she's doing are so essential that, you know, she can't possibly take herself off the battlefield even though she's dangerous. Because doors, I guess? Question Jekka says, I honestly wonder if even the writer's fault. Well, no, not in this sense. I think these are executive decisions in terms of, like, are we going to continue this franchise? Yes. In what mode will we do it? I don't know. Are we going to keep the Master Chief and Cortana? Yes. What are we going to do? And I know from things that Joe Staten said before that, you know, like, rampancy was supposed to be a more important concept in the Halo universe, and they abandoned it. So what they had was a bunch of writers' notes about stuff they could have done in Halo, and it seemed normal to pick those up and say, well, why don't we try some of these on, you know? And
oh, there's glass. I was wondering why this guy is not taking
He's behind
rounds.
a window.
Actually the yeah.
Come in
and
through
at the distance
door.
I was at, it wasn't rendering.
Yeah, point blank is just Nick Wall. Just unplug her.
It's IT. Have you tried turning it on and off again?
But it does seem very ironic that, like, the Halo game that reintroduces the concept of rampancy to the Haloverse is the game I was least interested in playing. Yep.
And did not have a great execution of it anyway.
No. And nothing I've seen so far indicates that, like, that decision is a mistake. Really. Like, there are games that if they brought interesting concepts to the story, I would play them even if the gameplay was clumsy. And there's gameplay that's so much fun, I would play it even if the execution of its thematic, elements and story elements was bad. And this doesn't seem like it's really got anything really going for it in either of those areas. And this is a strangely quiet moment that I'm not sure is really even supposed to be quiet. It's just like all the chatter has stopped and the music stopped, I guess because I think you took too long in the sequence. I guess they're expecting you to go faster or something.
I don't know, I was kind of trying to keep the pace even.
Yeah, but remember, there were loops in Halo 2. Like, I remember there was a thing Marty said once where he, like, I think he tried to get, maybe it was his dad or somebody else to play one of the Halo games to listen to his music, and they took so long to do a sequence that the music stopped looping and it was silent.
And that's probably what my gameplay sounds like, because usually when I do this, I hate to say it, I turn the music off, because in combat situations, I don't want a theme, I want to know targets, locations.
Point blank asks, this campy gameplay is kind of boring to watch, is it at least fun to play?
I do have the controls dialed in where I am enjoying it immensely, and there are a bunch of guns in here that I have ammo for I like, but as far as the totality in the game universe, as far as all the titles go, is this my favorite? Not even remotely.
Yeah. And Lilo Joe says, well, it figures they didn't go too far with the idea of rampancy in Halo when virtually the entire Marathon series revolved around it. True, but I feel honestly that, like, such a small portion of the Halo fan base, whether old or new at this point, is even aware of that stuff. That,
not
like,
even.
you could have done anything you wanted with that concept, and it wouldn't have mattered. Like, the chorus of Marathon fans either saying that Rampancy is done not as well, or that they're just copying the earlier stuff, would be so small. I don't think it would have. I don't think it would have mattered.
Over here whacking me?
No, you got guns plinking at you from behind.
Kind of expecting him to do that.
I have a tough time perceiving these things as even being a threat. I mean, I really do.
There's just a point where they're not really risky anymore. They're just annoying.
Yeah, the soundtrack has given up the ghost. It's done. It can't even anymore.
They didn't bother writing any more music.
Nope.
Cortana to Infinity. We're entering the Forerunner structure.
Somebody bring a vacuum.
Breaking up, but coordinates received, Infinity.
Oop, hello. Okay, but this guy's not hostile.
No. They give you a highlight in red if they were.
Right, but why isn't he hostile? Did the Didact take over everything?
Oh, no. They weren't hostile before.
This elevator should take us directly to the coordinates Infinity provided. Almost like those Sentinels wanted us to get the particle cannons offline.
This could be
Now,
a trap.
Notice their design. Your foot is constantly in the way of where you want to look.
Possibility?
Why are there Sentinels not under the Didact's control? Oh, okay. Question Deck says the librarian still has some influence. Okay. Jail says, that's not Infinity, that's Eli Vance warning you not to enter the vault and release the G-Man.
Where's my crowbar?
I also don't like the Sentinel design either. Is somebody locking a missile onto you?
Just telling you what you gotta do once you get there.
Yeah, but that's the missile lock-on sound. I mean, like...
Yeah.
We've reached the coordinates. This looks like the place.
Does it? How do we know it looks like the place? We've never been here before.
Easy, we got the ethereal soundtrack playing. It would be playing if this wasn't the place.
The particle cannon network must use these arrays for targeting and guidance. It's an automated system, so it won't technically allow me to redirect the cannons to fire on one another. Technically.
Yeah, fire through them.
Okay, the hologram doesn't actually need to be facing the other hologram to observe it.
Something's in here.
Cortana.
Whoop.
Cortana.
Shit, where's the any key? The any key!
See, she heard us. I was wondering why she didn't just leave the story, and she heard me. She left. Jill says if J.J. Abrams directed, this area would be a brewery.
Oh, please. Not only that, it would also be full of you know, absolutely mind-numbingly volumetric lighting effects. You would
Speaking
have
of
lens
brewery,
flares all day.
Speaking of brewery, is now a good time to take a break?
If you'd like, yeah, because to be honest, I don't know where we're going to go from here. So yeah, for those just tuning in, you're watching the Rampancy.net playthrough of Halo 4. I am Blackstar and he is Narcogen, and we will be right back after this short break.
Okay, welcome back to Halo 4 level, the Requiem.
I love how you sound like you're going to your death.
Well, I'm not.
Welcome everybody to.
Okay, does this work?
Oh, there we go.
Hey,
I can hear
there's Leah.
Hello.
Hey, okay, I just had to reboot it.
You're
How
not
you feeling,
dead.
girl? Yeah, I know.
I'm doing
Wow.
a bit better. I had some cactus fruit, and that helped get me back
Oh.
into talking mode.
Okay.
Wow.
Good.
I had duck eggs that almost killed me yesterday.
Oh, the cactus fruit improved things.
I wish I had some. I just had to suffer and.
Okay, so during the break, chat was arguing mostly between Jail and I believe Question Deca. What's worse, a truly
I'm sorry.
bad game that everybody rags on, or a mediocre game that everybody forgets after they played it? That gets worse when people rag on it.
Well, see, the thing is, for Halo, I want to say 3, 4, and 5, I played through once and that was about it. I did not have the multiplayer, super enjoyable experience the way that I had with 1 and 2.
By the way, I think this is only merely mediocre in terms of its functionality, in terms of like, yes, this was assembled by people who know what a video game is. But it only needed to be created to fill a product quadrant.
Okay, and this is going to be a lot of plot, if I recall.
Okay.
Who are you?
I am what remains of the Forerunner, once known as the Librarian. My memories were retained to assist humanity on their path to the mantle. Though sadly, that plan is now at risk. The Didact is leaving Requiem. Soon. You must not allow it.
Leaving.
He seeks this. The Composer. A device which will allow him to finally contain the greatest enemy ever faced by the Forerunners. You.
Is this an X-Files movie now?
Mankind spread into the stars with an unexpected, desperate violence. Entire systems fell before the Didact's warrior servants rose to halt the aggression. When the Didact finally exhausted the humans after a millennia, his sentence was severe. We had no way of knowing that the Forerunners were not your only enemy. Humanity hadn't been expanding. They were running. Weakened from our conflict, we were no match for the parasite which pursued you. The Forerunners made plans for a final great journey, but the Didact refused to yield our mantle of responsibility. He would save all life in the galaxy, at a cost. In the Forerunners' quest for transcendence, the Composer had been intended to bridge the organic and digital realms. It would have made us immortal. But its results soured. The stored personalities fragmented, and our attempts to return them to biological states created only abominations. Such moral concerns faded from the Didact's attention. The Flood only assimilated living tissue. The Composer would provide the Didact his solution and his revenge.
The Prometheans. They're human.
They were only the beginning. He would have encrypted your entire race if we had not removed the Composer from his care and imprisoned him here. Reclaimer. When I indexed mankind for repopulation,
I hid seeds from the didact. Seeds which would lead to an eventuality. Your physical evolution. Your combat skin. Even your ancilla, Cortana. You are the culmination of 1,000 lifetimes of planning.
Planning for what?
My hat
has found us.
Even in death, her meddling continues.
Reclaimer. The gene song I placed within you contains many gifts, including an immunity to the composer. But it must be unlocked.
How?
Relinquish your contact essence.
Your evolutionary journey must be accelerated.
Can I defeat the Didact without it?
No.
Then do it.
Prepare.
That was way too much technobabble.
Told you.
Yeah, can you hit the pause button right now or something?
I can maybe slightly after this.
All
okay,
right.
there we go.
Is there a combat sequence about to happen?
Yes.
Okay, I would say I kind of understand, I think, thematically what they were trying to do with this whole thing. That does complicate the story quite a bit. Like that introduces more moving parts to what's going on in Halo than three games worth of stuff
combined. Yes,
and
that was my point.
And it is a payoff of some of the Didact librarian stuff that they put in the terminals in Halo 3.
Yes, and the books and all the other stuff.
It's not that I don't appreciate that, but like so much jargon. And it occurs to me that like if you're gonna do that to people, you need to give that player a good 5 to 10 minute walk with quiet ambient music and no fighting, just to kind of absorb and think through that without adding to it, without having the Chief and Cortana jaw to each other about what it means. I think you really need to let the player process that. And yeah, this is not how you do that.
This is not. See what I mean about going into combat? And what's funny is that this particular what I would call a plot vomit is guilty culturally in a lot of Japanese anime, where you go through 2 hours of movie and then in 5 minutes you get more conceptual jargon than you did in the entire movie before. And I hate that they've done it.
And I should be appreciating this actually, because back in the day, I was one of the people who did not like the Forerunners are human interpretation.
Yes. Oh, no, I hated that. I hated that idea.
And the problem is, I think that the only thing I may like less than that is what this is.
What this has become.
Which is that like, okay, so ancient, technologically advanced humans were being militarily successful, pushing themselves against Prometheans, but they weren't really
against the Forerunner. The Prometheans
I'm sorry, Forerunners. Yeah, well, that's another unclear distinction, I would say.
The Prometheans are humans that have been modified by the Forerunner to be Guardian type characters.
Okay, but then who are the precursors?
They didn't cover that.
But they weren't being the space colonial bad guys. They were just running from the flood.
Right, supposedly.
But they were more successful against the flood than the Forerunners were, because when the Forerunners ran into the flood, they were already depleted by having fought against the humans. And the method that they were using to fight against the humans was the composer, which is supposed to digitize everybody, but except they get corrupted.
Yeah, Blue Moose says the composer reduces the pieces into their component notes.
Right. So
so I don't think I understood that info dump, even though.
Yeah.
Neither did I. In fact, I was so pissed when I first played the game that I wanted to go back to it to say, what? And I couldn't, because now we're in 5 seconds later into combat.
Yeah, you need some downtime or... I mean, as much as I'm not a favor of the grimoire card model of doing lore in a video game, I would say do the cutscene, but then put in an encyclopedia like Mass Effect has, so that you can look up some more stuff, or at least just repeat it.
Lello Jello says,
Mysterious is
everybody
precursors of the forerunners of the forerunners. Jello is like, everybody is human.
Oh, I hate that.
This is like material for a marathon terminal, not for a...
Yes. Well, not only that, I don't mind that all of this is in the game. What I do mind is that there was not A, enough dramatic foreshadowing to set up where we are, and B, it wasn't spread out over the last, how long have we been playing this? 4 or 5 levels?
Yeah.
We're almost at the midpoint now, and they literally go, here's the plot.
The plot part of that, though, was the librarian saying that Didact is going to grab a weapon and leave, stop him. The rest of it was deep lore explaining why you want to do that. But I also kind of object at one point, because I admit I always perceived the mantle of responsibility, as being defined principally with regard to the flood. In other words, it was known that there's a hegemonizing swarm that threatens all biological life, and the mantle of responsibility is the responsibility of preserving the diversity of organic life against that threat. And now what we're being told is that the mantle predates the Forerunners' knowledge of the existence of the flood, because the humans encountered them first.
That doesn't make sense to try and encourage biological diversity, but at the same time, like, try and wipe everything out.
Well, I think they're digitizing it, and I think what they're saying then is that they didn't know that their digitizing process was corrupting, that their preservation...
Well, I would say non-reversible.
Incomplete. But apparently...
It was a one-way trip.
But apparently the indexing procedure, I guess, does work and does not corrupt, because otherwise humanity would be extinct.
Yeah, I didn't quite catch that, the indexing was a separate thing until she said, oh, I've been trying to index you. And I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, I think that's what the Halo 3 terminals are talking about. They're talking about alternate methods of dealing with the crisis, and the librarian's doing the indexing, and what the composer does is something else. Yeah, well, Hilo Joe says, imagine a bunch of terminals spread around the complex that had bits of information from the librarian would have been 10 times better than this cutscene. Yeah?
Yeah.
No, I was on board with the scene, except for the weird, floaty market capture lady.
Let's get out of here.
Until they started launching into all the jargon, and it was then I totally lost it.
Like, wait a minute, I'm sorry, is there Wikipedia? I can check all these things.
How do we get out of here?
Elevator, back of the chamber.
What's the front?
I don't know. Doesn't this game love giving you waypoints with little dings?
It does. I'm sitting here waiting for one. He said back of the chamber. Okay, so I'm assuming if this is the front, then this is the back.
Yeah, I feel
back is not a direction.
I feel the themes of this franchise are collapsing under the weight of the jargon. Precursor, Promethean, Forerunner, Reclaimer.
Ooh, there's a terminal.
Index, Composer.
Shall we do the terminal? This is the first terminal.
Right.
We have not done any terminals.
Right. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just wondering if this is the terminal that has more jargon explanation.
You wouldn't download a story, would you?
No, but let's find out.
Oh no!
What?
Oh,
you did not want to do that. That's going to trigger HDCP.
Hold on. Wait. Let's see if I can get out of here.
What?
No, hold on. No.
Okay, this also happens. There's a bunch of ancillary material that they didn't embed it. They didn't embed. Yeah, I can still see you. They didn't embed it in the game. They put an app on the Xbox that's basically just like a video streaming app, and it loads videos from Microsoft's web CDN or whatever.
I forgot about that.
But
it treats
videos the way Netflix does, so it triggers HDCP protection on the signal, which can cause capture cards to trigger off. I think we got out of it before it happened.
The librarian filled me in when she snatched me from the system. But what I don't know is what she did to you.
That is so dumb.
Tell me about it. In fact, here, let me see if I can make sure that that's actually off.
Mysterious says, I feel they tried to make Cortana look like Jennifer Lawrence.
They did.
Point Blank is like, no. Well, yeah. Wizard of Blue Most lore card unlocked.
What's our status?
Whoa, I just beat into a
how
battle.
did we get back here?
I don't know.
Infinity have a shot on the
Wait a
gravity
minute.
well.
I'm behind you.
Captain, what if we can spot the target for you with the laser designator?
Did we teleport?
Yes.
Oh,
I ran through a portal, but into the middle of the battle apparently.
Conveniently into an empty tank.
And my own guys are shooting me. Jerks.
That looked like another. Was there something missing there? Moment, but
no, I ran through the portal and suddenly ended up in the middle of a battle.
that doesn't seem like a great idea.
It's not very well paced.
I mean, why couldn't the portal go into the ship?
Or just outside where we came across the battle, you know what I mean?
Wait.
Yeah, never mind.
Stacker?
It's
Why is
straight into
Stacker
an open
here?
cockpit of a tank.
When did Stacker get here?
He's probably under contract.
I mean, I love the tank, but it's like just no.
Wow,
it's too
what? That
convenient.
could just survive a tank shell to the face?
No, it was a little shallow.
All right.
But yeah, he's brave for not leaving.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't even trying to get a better angle on you or anything. Once in Blue Moon says, "What, Larg?" Ace is like, "Yeah, did we miss something? I know. It certainly feels that way, doesn't it?"
I wanted you to experience the bad pacing firsthand because it's terrible.
That's beyond pacing problem, though.
We'll go switch tanks here in a second.
Yeah, I think you need to. Are we just moving backwards through the previous encounter again?
I don't know.
Or does it just
Tell you the
look
truth.
that way?
Like I said, I played this game once.
Does this game even care about you knowing where you're going?
Not much.
Okay, I think there should be another tank back over here. Yes. Okay, so there's one that I should be able to bail on and get in. This one is really bad off.
Little Jello said, 343, my son, you must choose text terminals or jank web app cutscenes.
I know.
3 for 3. Ah, lol.
I thought at some point they actually fixed that, but apparently I'm wrong. Okay, no, not the turn. I want to get in the stupid thing.
You wouldn't download a torrent, would you?
There we go. That was a good shot. Okay, so let's see. Where am I going? Are we going for the giant spaceship? Which I could have sworn I thought that crashed, but you know, hey, it could be wrong. It was just floating in the air.
Unexploded?
Well, that's supposed to be the Infinity, but I can't tell if it's on the ground anywhere.
That angle it looked.
Maybe it took off again? Again, plot points, pacing, lack thereof.
This soundtrack also meanders.
Yeah, it doesn't bring anything to it. Hello, you could get on board, dumb shit. There you go.
Looks like we're blocked. Chief, head down and find a way to destroy that shield.
Also, here's some prune juice. I heard you were blocked, Chief, so I got you this.
Thanks, Cortana. I need my Metamucil.
You think the suit would do that for him, given everything else they say it does?
Now see, my turn is through that, but I'm still... things aren't letting you go through. It's stupid. It's like you literally got to be inside the whole thing. There you go.
There's a clearing just past this ravine. We can get eyes on the gravity well up there.
You can't see a gravity well.
It has graviton vision.
Oh, that's right.
And of
Yeah.
course-
Can you turn on the graviton vision when you're in the tank?
Well, I don't know if I have it anymore because I had the.
Oh, did you lose it?
Rocket. I had the rocket pack for a while.
Oh,
So you
okay.
can only-
So
yeah,
it's-
you
you
got
only
the
have one
rocket
piece
pack.
of equipment. All right, fine. So you got
Correct.
rocket pack. You don't have Promethean vision anymore. Okay.
I thought rocket pack was more important because rocket pack.
It doesn't even seem to be a particularly good rocket pack, though.
No, I told you it sucks.
Like, it doesn't feel empowering at all. It feels very clumsy and limited.
Line up the shot.
Oh, this again.
Yeah. I love how these are strategically placed for you to use them.
Right. They couldn't see that.
That was totally worth it for that 3-second animation of zoom.
Yeah. Why? It's like this giant spaceship cannot operate without you there to push buttons.
UNSC incidental.
Infinity cannot handle that kind of punishment. Not again.
This isn't about us or this ship anymore.
Sir, we've seen what the Didact is capable of. If we let him leave this world, humanity will be at risk.
Look, I understand what you think you saw.
Think?
With all due respect, sir, I know what I saw.
And with all due respect to you, soldier, I'm not willing to jeopardize my ship because of the hallucinations of an aging Spartan and his malfunctioning AI.
Sir, what if he's right?
Nav, as soon as we know we're airtight, I want a course laid into Caranay Station. Com, prepare a warning beacon.
I will not allow you to leave this planet!
Cortana.
I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to do that.
Commander Lasky, pursuant to Article 55 of UNSC Regulation 12-14572, I'm ordering you to remove that AI's data chip and retire it for final dispensation.
I don't want to. You don't want me to.
Remove
Please.
the chip now, Commander.
Please. I don't want to.
That is,
Yeah.
takes forever.
That chip.
The Didact has to be stopped.
Thank
If you won't do that, I will.
I am ordering you to surrender that AI!
No, sir.
You in what navy, sir?
Lieutenant! Arrest that man!
Captain!
Arrest him!
Captain!
Get word to Earth that trouble is coming. Cortana and I will do what we can back here.
This is not an area this franchise ever should have gone to.
Nope.
It's
Not even remotely.
It's not equipped to do this.
Lelo Jells, give me the Dorito.
Okay, no, Phil, you are a level-headed guy that I listen to, but when you say that the captain's the only person in this scene making any sense, no, that is not
I can give you
true.
over 40,000 reasons why I know that sun isn't real.
That's a
I
lot
know
of
it
reasons.
because the emitter's Rayleigh effect is disproportionate to its suggested size. I know it because its stellar cycle is more symmetrical than that of an actual star. But for all that, I'll never actually know if it looks real. If it feels real.
You're not doing a song, not while I'm here.
Before this is all over, promise me you'll figure out which one of us is the machine.
It can be both. It's both, isn't it?
Yeah. I like those lines, but
So what's your plan?
The visual delivery.
Infinity's tracked the Didact's vessel to a docking structure southeast of here. We'll jump ship as Infinity exits the roof.
You know, I was sent down here with orders to prevent you from leaving. In case you'd already gone, I took the precaution of ordering a Pelican, outfitted for full combat pursuit.
My question is, why isn't Palmer and the
I've
rest
got
of the
you
Spartan
wrong about that
Force
far.
stopping him?
Or whatever he
Are
is,
they just
Chief.
not following orders too?
Also, is Lasky
Maybe they're
expecting
not.
to get attacked, but only from his left side?
I don't know. Bungie loves asymmetrical.
Chief. Good luck. Both of you.
Come on, Chief. Take a girl for a ride.
Oh, now it's all happy fun times. Take a ride. Have fun doing the missions. A1 Point Blank says, Leah's right. Good lines could have been executed better.
Composer to create the Prometheans from ancient humans. If he wants to finish the job, he'll have to find it first. Our best bet to stop him is keep him firmly on Requiem. Hey, let's hope Lasky didn't skimp on that Pelican.
I feel like there's a setup for an Arnie Schwarzenegger line, which is going to be like, no, we're waiting for you to decompose.
I love how everyone is like still saluting me.
Yeah, I honestly feel like what really should have happened, that from a dramatic perspective, is that Lasky would have said, I'm relieving you of your of the captaincy. You're clearly nuts. I mean, and they kind of already did this in Halo 3, where Commander Keyes and the Chief had a difference of agreement with Lord Hood about whether to go on the offensive or to defend Earth. And that was handled more amicably, where, Hood really wanted to preserve all the resources for planetary defense, but Keyes and the Chief, disagreed, and they took one ship and they left.
Pre-flight diagnostics. Forward autocannon, check. Lateral rail turrets, check. Main thrusters, check. Auxiliary boosters, check. All right. Keying engine.
The optimist to me is like wondering, are we going to fly a Pelican?
Home. You know that, right?
It'll be okay.
Contact. Didact dead ahead.
Oh, so they finally did do something else with flight mechanics.
Marking 2 of the larger facilities
after
on
Reach.
HUD. They're acting as traffic control for resources moving to and from the satellite. If we disrupt their communications, I can forge an override code and convince it to lower those defenses.
It feels like the connection between what we're doing now and all the things that the story says are necessary to do is almost entirely imaginary.
Yeah.
Like the people doing those writings and the people doing this mission design, like, we're not in the same building. Yeah, Lilydale says, I don't get how they can pick someone so neurotic as incompetent as the captain of the most important ship in the UNSC fleet. It's lazy. And this is basically just a huge Reach mod. Yeah, it does.
Sorry, something this big, you would think it would have admirals on board, not a captain. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense to me.
I gotta admit, I'm not a big enough military nerd to know how the Navy works in that case, because my understanding is like an admiral is someone who commands a fleet, a group of ships, more than one ship. So I imagine that one ship, no matter how big, would have a captain. So I get that. But why is the captain of this thing such an idiot dick when, one very nondescript ship like Forward Enter Dawn or, I'm blanking out, has...
Infinity?
No, Infinity. No, I mean the one from Halo 1.
Didact satellite through a carrier wave generator.
Pillar of Autumn?
Pillar of Autumn, yeah.
You pulled a blank of Pillar of Autumn.
Has reasonably competent people in command of it.
We can handle it.
Oh, and now we're back to the super busy Forerunner
I found the
aesthetic.
carrier wave generator. It's on the opposite end of this chamber. You can use this gondola to cross to the other side. Find the activation switch.
Oh, Corona grenades.
That was probably the worst execution of flying a Pelican I've ever seen. You're just flying around in empty space shooting at things. That's not what
Take a page out of our old playbook.
Nope, it was 5 seconds of what I think we had back in, was it Halo 3?
Okay.
All you'll need to
John Cimento
now
says,
we've got the bridge sequence from Halo 2.
Yeah. John Cimento says it would have a minimum a Commodore, an admiral would be expected for leading a fleet from a flagship such as this.
Taking fire, starboard side.
See, this seems less of a bridge sequence. This seems more like the gondola.
Don't you remember
sequence.
Halo 2?
Yeah, the gondola
with the
sequence in
water?
Halo 2, yeah. That's regret.
Why are we stopping?
Stopping. They've overridden the gondola controls.
Oh, she's even calling it a gondola.
Cortana, the override.
Here.
For the people who've bothered to read all the books, does anybody ever follow up on the things that Cortana said in Halo 2 about how there are old structures on Halo installations that seem to function as religious structures? Because I don't see anything that what we're currently being told about the Forerunners explaining or addressing that particularly. A says traditionally the commander of a ship can be addressed by his proper rank or as captain. There's an etiquette and such dictating which title is appropriate to which circumstances. Okay.
Right, and I don't think that they were being, captain of the ship oriented. I think they were literally talking about his rank in their military, and that's why I thought it seemed a little low for a vessel as big as that.
I'm just saying, like, I think there's plenty of room for a drama that suggests that military personnel are not always the most capable, most moral people. But for this franchise, it's a big U-turn to be suggesting what they're suggesting, which is like
goal-oriented throughout most of it.
What if the captain of the human flagship was a real dick? You know, like what if he's just a real dick? You know, like.
Well, they must have them.
Okay, A1 Public says, yeah, in the new canon, the Forerunner have no religion or art. It's mentioned in the vid I linked earlier. That seems like a huge retcon.
Oh,
Wait.
see, and what do you know, he dodges that.
Yeah, you linked a video earlier in the chat.
There we go, I stuck him finally, yay!
That was like the 10 most surprising the 10 most surprising habits of the Forerunner. So, structures that suggest some religious function that exists on the Halo rings, where did they come from if they're not Forerunner?
The retcon library.
Okay, Bloodless Honor on YouTube says, I don't know, the new Forerunner lore really conflicts from the perspective I got from the Halo 3 terminals. Yeah, I also have that feeling.
Mm-hmm. John Sabino's in the chat. Hi, John. He says, in fairness, the captain of the Bismarck was an idiot.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, when you look at Johnson and Stacker and both Commander Keyes, like the impression you get from the main sequence Halo games is not the military officials are incompetent boobs angle. They're portrayed as competent and, I mean, I don't want to say relatively moral. It doesn't even examine that angle of it.
So if the other Halo games are main sequence, is this an overinflated dying Halo game?
Yeah, no, my headcanon basically include 1, 2, 3, ODST, and Reach, but even then, like for me, the end of Reach kind of makes elements of the opening of Halo 1 seem strange. Like in particular, the bit where Keyes says, okay, well, I want everybody up, I want, everyone, and Cortana's like, everyone, sorry? And then the order gets sent down to the cryopod room where those two crewmen are down there, and they look at the terminal, and the terminal says, "Unseal the hush casket," and they go, "Whoa." So you get the idea that, like, it is a big deal that Master Chief is being taken out of this box. Like, this is not a thing you do every day. And I think that's undermined by the way they choose to end Reach by...
Oh, jeez.
Hello.
This easy, are they?
You got him. All right.
Oh, that was point blank.
Yeah, get ready.
Back to Marathon 2 right there. Enemy teleporting on top of you.
Like, I don't know what they intended by Halo 1, but you kind of get the idea here that we don't know if every ship has one of these things on board, but like, but it's like a, you know, break glass to deploy Spartan, you know, it's like a last
in case
resort
of war
type of thing. And of course there is again that deep lore thing about like what the other mission was supposed to be, that they
moving to override the transport controls.
that they were going to attack the Covenant homeworld and they didn't get a chance to, you know, all these other things.
Motherfucking bullets.
Power this crate back up. We're just about to the carrier wave generator.
Okay. This is getting a little monotonous, so I'm gonna try and speedrun it.
Okay, I approve.
I figured you would.
Go ahead.
Bloodlust Honor says that the captain of this game is inexperienced or a staff officer, i.e. training focused. They would explain this attitude a lot. They can be used to bossing trainees and not combat troops. But would that be the case on your flagship? Or is...
Oh, no! Oh, son of a...
Casualty.
Stupid architecture. I thought there was a bridge there, which there was not.
We've got another squad moving to override the transport controls.
As a teacher on a training
mission,
I am content to command the
Enterprise.
If we are to go on actual duty, it's obvious that the most senior officer must take command.
Unless he's a jerk.
That never stopped Kirk.
Whoa! We're just about to the carrier wave generator.
You did that on purpose, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Lelodel says, wasn't the Ottoman slip space for 2 weeks before arriving in Halo? Sure, but that's not really a long time. You know, like I guess my perception is that 2 weeks is barely long enough to hush a casket.
Oh, what happened? Oh no, I lost screen. All right, okay, I came back. You did yet?
Like 2 weeks, that casket's still warm. You know, I mean, it's not a big deal. You just put him in there.
Nope, you are not bringing him back.
Bloodlust is like, I mean, aren't all the good officers at this point dead? I don't know, but again,
no, the brave ones are.
They brought this whole ship out of nowhere anyway, you know? I mean...
yeah, I never liked the fact that suddenly it's like, oh, now we have this giant infinity. I'm like, what? Where the hell did this come from?
Again, it's the need to escalate, right? They could have just put in another ship of the same class of either the Dawn or the Autumn. And of course you'd believe they have another one of those, but nope, that's not interesting. We gotta have a sphere that's bigger than the Halo, and a ship that's bigger than any of the other ships, and a mammoth that's bigger than an elephant, and it's just escalation everywhere. It's like race condition the game.
Even their prides are inflating.
One set of blue bus says, to infinity and beyond. Oh, and John Smino says, and a sister ship called the Eternity.
I know, right?
Scattered like embers over sand. And yet the light remains.
Well done. All communications from this tower have ceased.
Embers over sand. Is the Didact really just looking to go to a bonfire party on a beach? Is that it?
You'd be surprised.
Also, I mean, that's totally out of character as well. Like, there's a very clear pattern to the naming of ships when you look at Forward Unto Dawn and Pillar of Autumn.
And they totally wanted to get away from that. You could tell.
with the single word unimaginative infinity and eternity. That's just like.
Okay, you ready for this puppy?
Oh, what's this? Is this a blazer?
This is their version of the rocket launcher, which, unfortunately, in these circumstances, is not effective against these targets.
Oh, all right. So.
I just wanted to showcase it.
No tracking or lock on, I imagine.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Not much of an explosion, even.
I think it's better up close.
Bloodlust Hunter says, I think it would have been more interesting to be smaller scale, like your ship would be a destroyer or an escort. Yeah, I agree. I think...
Yeah, they went way too big for absolutely no reason. I mean, the thing is, it's, you know, an entire city.
The mantle of responsibility for the galaxy shelters all humans, but only the Forerunners are its masters.
Cortana,
nah, you just got there first.
This responsibility doesn't apply to us, I guess, either.
The Didact's voice.
I'm not picking up anything, Chief.
He's there. Keep trying.
I didn't hear anything. Are you hallucinating, Chief? Are you all right?
Now they're both broken.
Yeah.
Well, that would be a fun twist. Like, he actually is hallucinating and the jerk was right.
I know. He's going to turn out Master Chief is actually Batman. Okay, thank God we don't have any more of these. I think this is the end.
So busy. Just so busy. There's just such a huge contrast between this stuff and the earlier designs. Even the stuff in Halo 3. I just...
Don't want those ones.
Johnny Ive would have wept.
Yeah, what's he been up to lately?
I don't know. He's no longer full-time at Apple.
Oh no, he was gone years ago.
His deputy has taken over design, not just for hardware, but also for software, just like Johnny was. So it's still pretty minimal. It'll be interesting to see if they... Like, Apple's pattern has basically been to not change internals and externals at the same time. So if they're going to spend the next 2 years transitioning to ARM, you know, to their own system out of chips, I assume that they would just keep all the same design. So we'll see all the same hardware, you know, external cases with new silicon in them. And that would mean you'd be waiting at least 2 years to see any evolution of the designs. And one could argue that, like, Apple's hardware designs for the road they're on have reached the end. They can't be any more of what they are. They have to be something different if they want to change any. Because once you've eliminated all the screws, all the seams, all the buttons, all the ports, and you've made things like what John Siracusa calls the naked robotic core of a computer, there isn't really anything you can do to change the way it looks, because looking a certain way requires some of those things you've eliminated all of. And I was hoping...
So hard to lead into
I was hoping Ive stepping away might mean a change in the aesthetic. In fact, actually, you know what I saw was really cool? The other day I was watching a video on the channel's called LGR.
Chief,
it's not Latest Gamer, because that's another channel.
Passing through this tower than just what's servicing the Didact satellite. These systems use data attenuators to regulate the flow of communications. Destroying those would drown out the tower's transmissions. The tower's instructions to the Didact
I feel like we've been talking about towers and transmissions. I feel like practically the entire part of this game's objectives have been about fighting a way to a button that controls a radio in some way. And nothing else than that.
Now, did you see what that guy did? He grabbed my nade midair and tossed it right back at me.
Yeah, the Watcher. That's what they're for.
Yeah.
And we can't shoot the tower because your laser pointer has run out of batteries.
Right. Yeah.
And there was another thing over here I could grab. Where was
So anyway, this LGR video was talking about a custom case you can order to put old motherboards from Amiga computers in, so you can have a pizza. You can have a like a pizza box case that's new that will fit either an Amiga 500 or 1200, or you can put in a Raspberry Pi or a mini ITX board. And it was just like a beige plastic box. But I'm like, but you know what? Like, that looks different now. That everything else doesn't look like that anymore. And I thought it was kind of neat, you know, and it had little, you know,
going back to beige.
It had drive activity. Yeah, they've gone to beige. It had little drive activity lights you could hook up to the motherboard and stuff like that. And I'm like, all right, it's at least different.
Hey, I'm jumping for a Dune Pro case, and that way I can have standard PC components in the exact same aesthetic as Apple's new tower without the $7,000 price tag. Excuse me, $6,000 price tag.
Oh, minimum. I hit Apple's refurbished store the other day, and it's amazing that like how many new Mac Pros were there, but the prices were all between like $20,000 and $40,000.
Oh yeah, because they realize there's no point. There's absolutely no point for that. Let's see if I can actually hit anything. There we go.
Oh, there you go. That does seem like overkill for those, but...
But yeah, is this weird, like, semi-plasma liquidy ball thing? It's kind of weird.
Oh hey, it's the Destiny exotic. It's the void rifle that has the what the cosmology perk on it.
And of course, now I have absolutely nothing to shoot. Oh wait, there's some ammo cases.
Okay, Ace says the Halo Wiki lists the complement of the Infinity as 10 frigates and 150 Pelicans.
Yeah, it's insane. So it's like
infinite.
Do they use any of them? No. Do they help you with anything? No.
But that's so many Pelicans you could crash. I mean, think of it.
There's no way down here.
Yeah, see, that's what I was hoping Flying Pelican would be like. Like, horribly uncontrollable, you're gonna crash into something and completely combat ineffective. But no.
Oh, no, he got you.
That's not what happened.
Nope, he got that one.
Yeah, he got it.
I had two.
Oh, no.
Wrong time. Supposed to shoot
It's
this?
back.
Or?
No,
I gotta destroy it.
It says.
Oh, that's glowing. That should explode. There we go.
Question Deca says the Infinity was built to be humanity's temporary home if Earth fell. And Footleg is like, whoa, well, okay then. I guess it's okay.
Nicely done, Chief. 2 more to go.
Cortana, are you hearing me?
Those are the two possibilities.
Can I get up there? Okay, so where am I going? Really was a sniper.
So the Infinity was a contingency plan that nobody in Halo 3 ever felt the need to mention. Because what, security clearances or something? You know, nobody had a security rating to know
about it. They weren't on the same Facebook status, so no, they didn't want to share.
Lord Hood couldn't tell Chief about it because Chief doesn't have the clearance.
Oh, no. Oh, that could have been terrible. Whew. Okay, where's the way? Okay, it's over
here. I think in real life, though, given that the Infinity wasn't actually required because Earth didn't fall, it immediately would have been decommissioned and broken down for parts by a bunch of people who claimed that only alarmists would have required this thing to ever have been built, since it was obvious that humanity was going to persevere.
I think it was just a military-industrial complex after the Covenant War wanted to keep the funds going.
Oh, well, that is very believable.
That would at least have made more sense.
That's UNSC bureaucracy
Hey, we just
for you.
We just had a giant war. Let's build the Death Star. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, and please tell me why that thing doesn't have the biggest ass railgun ever invented by man.
Remember how Half-Life 2 constantly gives you new mechanics entirely through its runtime?
Yeah, remember those days?
Notice how this game isn't doing that at all.
Not at all.
I mean, to be fair, the Halo games don't generally
if we're lucky,
do that.
And I've been trying to do that, is showcase the new guns that they give you when they give them to you. That is literally all they do.
None of them were that interesting.
Nope.
I mean...
Oh, man.
Wait, where are you going? Shit. Is that a place? I don't think that's the place you can go.
Nope.
Question Decker says, as of 4, I assume Halo 4, the civilian government is being rebuilt. No politicians to order its breakdown yet, and it does have the biggest gun built by man. It'll fire it later.
I know, but they could have used it before.
Like, I guess I just feel like, I mean, the obvious thing would have been to try to go in a different direction and not have the Master Chief or Cortana in it at all. But I also think that if you said, no, we have to have that, we just have to go there, there were places to go. I think even if you needed to have invented melodrama between members of humanity's military and civilian leadership, there are some obvious places you could go there. And maybe Halo 5 is going to do that because... Are the composers also on the rings?
Success. The system's overloading. I don't think we'll be having any more trouble from those shields.
Okay. Like, I could easily see some human faction saying, the thing we need to do now is track the Covenant down and eliminate them. They're a threat. We can't trust them. We have to kill them all. And I could see Chief and Cortana saying, no, they're allies. The real... threat was the Flood, and who knows, there may be more of it out there, conflict. And we need all the allies we can get. We need to be able to trust somebody, and someone would say no. And I just remember how fastidious Bungie was about not, even when they gave you Covenant characters to play, not giving you humans as enemies. Even though the next thing they tell you is, well, Spartans, were created to fight Civil War. Spartans were created to kill humans, not aliens or Flood.
Nope, we weren't invaded then.
Okay, Question Decker says it's near, not on the composer. And A1 Point Blank says, what difficulty is this? This is easy, I believe, if you haven't changed it.
Nope, we are not showcasing my uber skills in a game I played once years ago and haven't touched since. We're just getting through it.
Oh dear.
These theatrics can prevent my departure. Embrace your sad fate and retain your nobility. I am already beyond you.
He knows what we're trying to do. If we try to get too close to that ship, we're dead. I have an idea. Head for that waypoint.
Which waypoint?
We can't end the game yet, Chief. Go and press another button before we go to the end of the game.
Those defense spires we keep running into are being controlled from this tower. Get me to the control room, and we might be able to reposition them to block the Didact ship from leaving.
I get the feeling that you could have swapped out any of the objective dialogue for any of these objectives and it would have no impact whatsoever.
None.
Like, it doesn't matter that she said that this was this and that the last one was about transmission towers. You could just swap them and nobody would know.
And it would have no impact on the story, plot, development, characters, or anything in the story.
Jill says, why do they make Cortana sound exhausted? I guess rampancy makes you tired? Rampancy makes your face tired. That's all.
All in life is choice. And your day to choose has come.
Choose and perish.
He's altering the tower!
Frey, he doesn't alter it any further.
It's just...
If he can do that, why doesn't he just turn off a light bridge like while you're walking on it?
I don't know.
Why doesn't he retract this entire structure back into the walls?
I'm seeing a control facility at the top of the tower. We need to be there yesterday.
Oh, turn on the time machine then. Question Dicka says, some of it's load bearing, Narkers.
That's a load bearing poster.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Zolder says, gotta say, this is highly boring and generic. So much so I'm actually multitasking on other things, and normally I'm not good at doing that. Yeah, I gotta say, I mean, if we weren't streaming this, I mean, the game content alone would have difficulty attracting my attention, and to the extent it attracts my attention, it just makes me exasperated. Oh, now you turn that thing back on.
I know. Well, see, it wouldn't let you go until you kill the hunters. I was hoping to actually do it. I was like, no, the game's gonna be a dick.
So the Didac turned it off to stop you from getting at him, but he turned it back on after you killed the last hunter?
Yeah, apparently.
Video games.
It's reasons.
Once in a blue this says, I'm on Central Time here, so I'm technically talking to you from the past. Was this a rush job? Like, did they not have time for this? I'm trying to remember, like, what year did this come out in? It was like, what, Reach was 2010. And that was the last thing that Bungie did on Halo. And they were supposed to have Destiny 1 out for 2013, but it slipped a year to 2014.
Oh dear, people are
quick. Let me at the
So did 343
about time zones in the chat?
So did 343 have less time to do this than?
They're mine. Now to imprison them.
What are you doing?
Okay.
Messages from Prometheus? Like thunderbolts, he imprisoned me. Chief.
His ship's online. They're leaving.
I'm sorry. I don't know what...
Track those liches. We can go across them to get to the Didac ship.
Wait. Across them?
Yes.
There are several liches moving in formation towards the Didac ship. We're only going to have one shot at this.
We're going to hop across them like Mario.
Okay. Go!
No, really? Are we really doing that?
Apparently.
Oh god, they could not help themselves, could they?
Nope.
Didn't we already have this cutscene a few games ago?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wait a minute. Where did the knife come from?
Oh, he's always had one.
What's happening?
Has
Hang on!
He says, now we need to have Cortana screw things up to make the game longer. Halo 4 was 2012. Yeah, okay, so that... Well, I don't know. See, like, Microsoft knew the transition was happening, right? So you assume that, like, they didn't wait until Bungie did Reach to start 343 working on. And there's so little overlap in personnel between the two studios. Like, so few people left Bungie to go to 343.
Get below deck!
No time.
But I do wonder if this is a game that's only made in, like, 2 years' work by a full team. And maybe that explains some of what we're seeing. What's going on now? Why is there a portal?
Because the Didact's leaving. We can't let him leave.
So has he left then?
Yeah, John Cimino says that's a standard issue Spartan combat knife.
That we never used until Reach, which was a prequel.
Nope.
Wow, it says that achievement was rare. Does that mean that people don't get this far into this game? Because I'm pretty sure that was just to complete the level achievement, wasn't it?
Probably.
That was nothing special.
Maybe it's rare because I've only played this once.
Question Deca says, that's slip space, Narc.
It slipped my mind. Oh, and calling those liches?
Wow.
Dumbest name ever.
That music is
my
terrible.
goodness. I was gonna complain about that, but
I beat you to it. Want to call them lichens?
This is generic as lol.
Cortana.
Oh yeah,
that soundtrack.
Yep.
Like I like the Spaceballs soundtrack is better than that.
Check YouTube's audio library. It's probably in there.
It's where Infinity found the coordinates for Requiem.
Then why are they?
Blood of the Sonic says, remember the nightmare of the story that was Spartan Ops? Jesus, that was horrible. No, and I was kind of looking forward to that. And I don't think I played more than one of them.
That station's not gonna save itself.
So where are we now?
Space Station.
Well, I gotta admit, I didn't think Requiem was that cool, so leaving it is not really a problem for me, gotta say.
This is UNSC Master Chief to base. Do you read?
Yes, I read you. This is Sandy Tilson of Ivanov Station. We're under attack.
They're after a Forerunner artifact you took from the Halo rig.
How do you know about that?
Doctor, I need you to protect that artifact until we arrive. Send whatever...
Do you know what that condescending bitch said to me after our first game of chess?
Cortana.
Even I don't call it by name anymore.
Correct your approach.
Yes, well, he also said he works better alone. I can see why you chose him, Catherine.
Cortana.
I'm your greatest achievement and you detest
Pull up. Now!
You did that on purpose, didn't you? They're literally ripping off their own game.
I'm sorry, I just can't stop them. Like 1,000 of me arguing all at once.
Dr. Tilson, are you there?
Oh, thank God. When your signal cut off,
Doctor, listen to me. You have to issue the order to evacuate the station.
We've been trying. The Covenant, they've already taken over the landing bays.
Send me your coordinates. I'll see what I can do about clearing an evac route on my way to you.
Without the bays, how can anyone land?
Oh, and don't forget to add me to your friends list, otherwise I won't be able to hear you. Yeah, any weapons around? Yeah, I think there are. Okay, so now we're back to UNSC standard.
Well, at least all the parts of this space station that aren't broken are clean. Like, there's one thing you can say here.
They're killing everybody!
Was that Jackal eating that guy?
I love that. Oh, you can't stay here.
I think this environments have gotten so busy that they're indistinguishable from one another, even though they're...
Yeah, exactly. The line between the two kinds of aesthetics are blurring. Like these smooth gray metal surfaces are not distinct enough from the Forerunner gray metal surfaces.
Well, in its defense, I am whipping around my head fast because I'm in combat. I'm not showcasing a easy, nice walkthrough.
What we get out of this is that humans have a fetish for orange railings, and the Forerunner don't like railings at all.
Yeah. So, to obtain the mantle, you have to eliminate OSHA? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you have to. I guess what they're saying is that sufficiently advanced societies don't care about public safety at all,
or they
doesn't
don't
really make a whole lot of sense.
We're beyond the need for railings. We have attained perfect balance.
Oh, we should try to kill them with the forklift.
No, you should kill them at least with a knife. You got a knife.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wait, can you drive the forklift?
No.
0 out of 10, literally unplayable. Especially since Reach had a drivable forklift. I mean, you literally had to disable that. And the music got worse, which I didn't think was possible after the last sequence.
Patrols can erect a barricade over the bay, but we'll have to locate them.
Okay, so what Halo are we next to now? Which one?
3.
3?
I will say, I like this gun.
That seemed pretty good.
But you don't have a lot of ammo for it.
No. Jill said he tried to kill me with a forklift. Huzzah!
Dr. Tilson, Base 7 is secure and we're moving toward your position now.
Really? Oh, that's incredible. Thank you.
Is the door opening? Whoa, geez, everybody came out of nowhere.
I'll give them credit again for showing us, like, there are human civilians that exist, and it's the reason why the military is there to protect them. Although, again, you know, the first thing you do is, like, not care and kill them for their ammo or whatever. But... Also, why are the Covenant fighting us here?
Because we need to have something to shoot at. Reasons. They're trying to recover the artifact. And that's where it is. It's here.
Should have any, like, breathing space.
But I guess
breaking the action.
But again, presumably at this point, right, there's at least 2 factions of Covenant, right? There's a faction led by the Arbiter and, say, everybody else. And it's interesting that we run into 0 of the former and all the Covenant we find at the latter. So, like, the Arbiter didn't think it was a good idea to try to secure Halo installations? Or just coincidentally, we're not at any of the ones that he successfully sent teams to.
Well, not to mention the fact we've been out of the game for like 4 years. You think they would have done some of that in the interim?
Lolo Jill says, "How did I never realize this base was next to a Halo ring?"
See?
And Golfer says, "Hey everyone, hi Golfer."
Hey Golf.
Well, see, I guess that answers my next question, because my next question is, hey, are we going to go down to that Halo? And I guess if people play this level without ever realizing a Halo was included in it, I guess the answer is no. I can see just somebody saying, like, so where are we going to take the Halo 4? Are we going to go to another Halo? It's like, no, we're going to go to a space station next to one. It's going to look like Cairo, but with more yellow railings.
Combat doesn't know where the composer is. Just that it's on the station.
Well, minigun was kind of neat.
Yeah, they did just rip off Baryon's suite, but okay.
Trying to grasp the positives here.
I know, I kind of gave that up. I was gonna do that at the start. and there haven't really been a whole lot. I did like the jungle earlier. I thought that was a nice environment. I thought it being busy did not detract the way the busyness detracts from many of the other environments. Yeah, Bloodless Honor says 4 and 5 story fall apart as soon as you think past what's happening at face value. It's pretty irritating if you like having a coherent story. I'm not even sure it coheres in the moment-to-moment things you're trying to do. I mean, I think it's way less coherent than Halo 1 in terms of connecting what's the thing you just told us in a cutscene and what are we supposed to do next, gameplay-wise. I feel like a lot of what's going on here gameplay-wise is just fighting to push the button, which if you reduce Halo 1's gameplay to that, you can get there, but it just feels like there's much less of a connection between what's going on in the big part of the story and what's going on in a small part of the story, which is what's between you and your objective marker and what you do when you get there.
Sure,
feels like this hunter really ought to be pulverizing you. Yeah, get the data.
Cortana, door controls.
Tilson's in
She might have to open a door yourself for once. Does anybody open a door in this series without a counterinsurgency AI? I mean,
to be honest, my objectivity isn't doing me a whole lot of good right now. Hold on. I'll start us down.
this voice performer is familiar to me. Who is this?
The commander of that ship wants it back.
Wants it back?
Oh, that's the overseer from Fallout 76.
It can't leave the station. You know that, right?
We don't have any choice, Doctor.
It's not a matter of choice. It took 3 months. And the biggest starship the UNSC could throw at it just to relocate it here. Unless you're a lot stronger than you look. It's not going anywhere.
Well.
Can you give Cortana access to the station's supply manifest?
What for?
If we can't move the composer, we have to make sure the Didact can't either.
Oh, wait. We have years of work invested here.
Inventory lists 7 excavation-grade Havoc mines. Just one of those would turn this base into a piñata.
I'm sorry, Doctor. Keep routing your people to the evac centers. Once we take care of the composer, you won't have much time.
I'll make sure the nukes are primed so you can detonate them remotely. Maybe next time you rescue us, you can give us more time to pack.
Next time.
Yeah, I'm right. That's Adrian Barbeau, who played the Overseer in Fallout 76 and the latest expansion, Wastelanders, and also Dr. Tilson in Halo 4.
And to be honest, I like that exchange. I liked that dialogue.
Yeah.
I liked that execution because it was very well paced. You could feel the character, you could feel the impact on it, you could see the weight of years of work going bye-bye, and she has to pull the trigger on it. That was a good scene.
I think the game probably should have begun here. I almost think the damage to Dawn drifting within range of a Halo artifact that had a research team around it makes more sense than what they did. And it feels like the pace is slowing a bit here when it really needed to be that way earlier.
It needs it more often, to tell you the truth.
What was that?
The Covenant. The Covenant shot down the first evac shuttle.
I'm sorry.
The station should be equipped with outer turrets. If we can reactivate them, I can program the station's defenses to provide cover for the evacuation.
Okay, I'll send you the coordinates.
Okay, I'm going to apologize in advance for what I'm about to do.
Oh.
But I'm going to hijack the stream a bit to read a little bit of the trivia section for that voice performer on IMDb. Adrian Borbo worked as a New York City go-go dancer in a mafia-run nightclub from 1964 to 1967 while working on Broadway. She quit when the owner turned it into a bikini bar.
Wow.
She was in The Fog
awesome.
and Escape from New York.
Oh, okay. I think I might know who you're talking about. All right, yeah.
Nominated for a Tony Award in 1972 as Best Supporting or Featured Actress for her portrayal of bad girl Betty Rizzo in the original Broadway production of Grease. Made her Broadway debut in Fiddler on the Roof in 1968, where she met Bette Midler.
Do we have a photo we can kick up?
And she did a nude scene in Swamp Thing in 1982.
Nice. Yeah, I think I know exactly the actors you're talking about.
Yeah, intended only for European release, but eventually made its way onto an American DVD version of the movie until a housewife in Texas complained of her son's inadvertently viewing nudity in a PG-rated movie, at which point the DVD was recalled.
Wow. Damn. Yeah. JL says, yeah, she's also the voice of the chess computer in John Carpenter's The Thing from '82.
Yes, I'm getting to that bit. I just had to scroll through. Anyway, please continue now. I'm done.
You sure? Okay.
I
wanted to hear it too. We now continue with our regular scheduled Halo 4, now in progress.
Excuse me.
Quick, I have to find the waypoint.
I'm one of those weirdos who actually enjoys Fallout 76.
Yes. Yes, you are. Get out of my way. I have a button to push. Wait, is it this button?
Nope, I guess not.
I'm lost.
Nope.
Which button am I pushing? Hey,
No,
you
he's
can't push
pushing
my
that
buttons.
button. You go find your own button.
Officer,
seal the door behind me.
Yes, sir.
Your singular power resurfaces. Once your composition
I just think it's so funny because Composer is also the name of a PHP-based framework, the one that's necessary for installing Drupal 8.
right in the junk.
Nice.
That was a good shot. Yeah, see, I love this gun because I can stick things way easier with it than tossing nades. They don't dodge nearly as much. I spoke too soon.
You had to say that.
Spoke too soon.
He was already mostly dead anyway.
See, I was anticipating him jumping. Yeah, no, I love this thing. I just wish it had more ammo.
Yeah, well, Halo really needs like a harp.
Look, watch this. And now I get to trigger it on demand. I love that. I absolutely love that.
Oh, yeah.
It does seem overkill for one grunt, though.
Oh, totally, but I wanted to see me stick his head. I mean, can you imagine being that grunt standing there?
Well, see, that's the other thing. Like in Bungie's Halo games, like when you stick a character, you stick a grunt, like they react. You know, like they react. They like, you know, that.
Let's go.
And you put a red hot burning piece of metal into that thing's eye.
Well, the top of his head.
And it did nothing until you exploded it.
Well, he went kind of ow and then kind of shrugged it off.
It seemed to me it should have been the same reaction to being stuck. That should have been screaming, turning, and running away like being stuck with a grenade.
Yep.
Are we supposed to be doing anything about the civilians screaming for help?
The battle
No.
directing all troops to
Okay, if you say so. Like, is there
Trust me, the best way we can help them is to actually be doing what we're
is
supposed
there
to
an
be doing.
achievement for saving them? I mean, are they dying behind us because we're rushing through? Ow. Is one of them Dr. Strauss? So there's like, did I miss anything? Looks like the answer to that is no. What are they waiting for?
That door open.
The door open, okay. Why did we open the door?
It would have been fun if we could vent them out in space. Like this.
Oh, cool. Alright.
Bye!
Oh, okay, that's pretty neat.
See how he waves? He's like, no, don't do it! Isn't that sick?
It is kind of strange and pointless.
I just thought it was needlessly sadistic.
Only a few more left.
I don't know if you watched any of it or if anybody else did, but Hugh Laurie was in a sci-fi series recently called Avenue 5, which is like aboard a luxury space yacht.
Side action misplaces things. That's the main defense console. My intervention is the prerequisite for success. Why should we save them? Insert me into the defense grid.
I feel her performance is picking up. I feel it's getting a little more natural
Dr.
now.
Tilson, are you there?
I'm here. Any luck?
Cortana's bringing the defense grid online now.
Okay. That's it.
I hear it. We'll broadcast the final evac orders.
The nuke?
We're rigging it now. Meet us back on the upper platform and we'll help you get it to the artifact.
Zeldera says, for a certain part of my Marathon 1 streams, I ask every NPC I come across if they are Dr. Strauss. I think they went through this transition phase. I think they didn't want Cortana to be off character. So in between normal and crazy, they did a, oh, I'm so sorry, Chief. I'm not okay. I can't help it, you know. And I think that actually undermined it. I think going through a manic thing would have been better than this.
I won't say it.
I know it's easy, but the Covenant don't appear to be behaving very strategically. Like, what are they even doing in any of these rooms they're in?
They found the composer.
Stop them, Chief! You can't handle them! Tell him it's here!
I think that's that disconnect between level design and
Dr.
spot
Tilson,
here.
the composer's location's compromised. You've got to get that nuke down here.
It's not ready yet.
Ready or not, I need it now.
I'm not sure a nuke's any good to anyone if it's not ready.
Is the nuke not ready or is she not ready?
I don't know. I mean, what does anybody mean by that, I guess? But a half-constructed nuclear bomb isn't half as good as a constructed one. I guess is kind of the way I think.
Well, I don't think it's a question of constructing. I think it's just a question of arming.
Even so, a bomb that's half-armed doesn't go off at all.
I think he means is that he can take care of the rest.
Oh, he's a nuclear technician now, huh? Lower Gel says, that's a lot of bloom. Yep. What? Don't. Really thought you were gonna walk off there. Like she said she had to prepare it for remote detonation. Yeah, I agree that. I mean, I understand it. Like, she's got a job to do and it's not done yet. But the chief saying, I'm going to finish it. It's like, well, if he was able to finish it, he could have just taken it with him. And why did they bother separating? I feel like they're falling back on lazy tropes in standard action movie tension building. You know, that kind of like, I just need a minute, we don't have a minute kinds of exchanges. That don't apply very well if we're just believing the characters in what they're saying.
Level of bloom is what Working Carpenter is making fun of with Marathon Huge.
Yeah, a lot of things seem to be making fun of in Marathon Huge. Once in a Blue Moon says, those fandoms just made an aerial insertion from underground. Good call. I appreciate that reference.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Did you hit the blue button?
Oh, I couldn't watch the J.J. Abrams lens flare.
Bloodlust on it says, what are you doing, Arbiter? Giving the UNSC back their bomb. Question Decker says they're saying the chief is willing to die to destroy this thing, not that the bomb won't blow.
Right. Because it was the remote function that was the problem.
Right, but then he should have made that decision then at the beginning and said, no, we cannot risk the time you need for the remote detonation. Give me the bomb now. Saying you're going to give her the time to do that for the tactical advantage it gives you, and then deciding no is probably worse. By the way, what is this room we're in? Like, I assume, like, are we...
We're on the space station in a orbit.
Okay, so this is a space station that's in orbit around the halo? Like, we're not on the surface of the installation we see in the distance, right?
Nope. Well, it's constructed on an asteroid, so that's why all the rocks. We're in an asteroid belt.
Because there are Forerunner structures here, and I'm assuming this is kind of like an archaeological dig, right? Where the humans have built a superstructure around...
No. They actually use ships to bring that here. No, they constructed this on the asteroids around the facility.
Right, but we got Forerunner things poking up out of this thing, as well as the human structure, right?
No, it's just the humans, though. No.
Really?
No, the only Forerunner thing was the composer, which was in the center, right there. That's
okay,
it.
so just the... All right, fine.
That's the only Forerunner thing. Everything else is all Umans. I gotta get in there, so yeah, I gotta get through this door.
Yeah, Below the Sun says, I really dislike the Mantis Walker design. Doesn't look like it should be in Halo.
Hate it. It doesn't belong.
Traffic mines will be in one of the cargo bays. Start us up.
That is, of course, how keyboards work.
Yeah, mine's late. It was supposed to be here a while ago.
Chief, immense Casimir wave building outside the atrium.
Ow!
What?
My
You've been
face.
hit by a sweater?
See, somebody decided at this point, you know what we didn't have enough of?
Explosions.
Jargon.
It's not enough sci-fi jargon.
What's he doing?
Increase the flash Gordon noise and put more science stuff around.
All right, I need to Google this thing. Hold on. I just need to. This is not a real thing. Before
Cashmere wave sounds pretty
Cortana,
self-explanatory.
see if
You've just been
still
hit by a
Get me
massive
status
amount
on
of
the rest
wool.
the station.
No. Casimir, not Cashmere.
Cortana, I need that info. Look, don't think about the Didad. Don't think about the composer. Only focus on finding me Tilson.
Tilson. Sandra Kay. Female, 51 years of age. Doctor of Archaeology. Pegasi Institute.
Current 20.
Biosignature stable on 350 level. B deck.
Thank you, Cortana.
And we're still going up. What, did they expect me to jump?
I have no idea what they expect you to do.
Me neither. I know. It just had to load.
Yeah, see, there's a thing called the Casimir effect. But as far as I know, it doesn't manifest in
Taking the composer. Get these people
waves
to the
that
evac centers.
propagate.
Taken how?
Tap the flight deck. Find us something that can carry a payload.
Wait. Something's happening.
Cortana, can you access the station's defense systems?
They're not responding.
I think that Reaper's gonna shoot at us.
Cortana,
Chief, it's...
That's forever.
So they just been decomposed, huh?
Yep.
So Aldera says, why am I getting Raiders of the Lost Ark vibes here?
Because that's where they stole it from.
Kind of, yeah.
Are you okay?
I fell on my
I
keys.
monitored the data pulse. I could hear them. What was left of them?
we need to move.
And they've just been digitized, right? I mean, like, the composer wasn't
gone.
supposed to be a weapon.
And more
Was
will
it?
follow if the Didad reaches Earth.
They'll pair you with another AI. Maybe even another Cortana model if Halsey lets them.
That's not going to happen.
It won't be me. You know that, right?
I feel like Chief really ought to be saying there, huh, upgrades.
Spinning up a broadsword in Hangar C-11. Whatever the librarian did to you obviously worked.
Cortana. It's not over. Not yet.
Not yet.
I don't even like the design of his helmet here. Like they did something in the center of the helmet that makes the helmet look less like a recognizable face you can empathize with. Hey, achievement.
Woohoo!
Composer. Halo 4 Complete Composer. I guess whatever you got the last one must have been for a more rare activity than just completing the level.
Maybe.
Is this the Harrier jump Pelican? Or
It is, and I'm not okay with it.
Hmm.
Am I not getting nitrogen for some reason?
Oh, you're not? I don't know.
Test. Oh, you know what? I probably hit a key that
Well, if
muted
he's
me and
talking, I'm
mumbled.
not hearing.
Hold on a second.
Hold on. He muted himself during break.
No, I've got a hotkey in Mumble that mutes me, and unfortunately, if I type on the keyboard in a chat window,
Approaching
it
the
triggers
dynamic
it.
zone in 200 kilometers. Once we get on board, we'll find the bridge.
He's on the move again.
The fighter's shields aren't rated for slip space.
No, but the Didacs are.
You're required to maneuver straight down this trench and hit this exhaust port.
No. You're jumping ahead. You're jumping ahead.
I know.
In fact, to be honest, I don't know. I think we should probably leave it right here, to tell you the
Well,
truth.
I was going to say, if we can't finish in the next, 30 to 40 minutes, then probably we should quit it here. Is this isn't the last level, is it, though?
I think it's the last part of this thing, but again, it's going to go way, way beyond, what our normal time is. So, I mean, we're just
we're
past
already
6.
at 6 p.m., so it's like, I think that's fine to leave it.
Okay, so let's save for today, and we'll save the straight down this trench for next time.
The coup de Gracie.
Yeah, the coup de Gracie. I'd like to thank all the new people that are jumping in, as well as the old classics, man. Chat's been jumping this whole time, so I'm glad that everyone got a chance to see. Sorry for anybody who didn't get notifications. I was expecting something yesterday because, we had to make a last-minute cancellation. But it's just, we're so far ahead. We're on chapter 8 of 10. And if I go any further, we'll have absolutely nothing for next time. So
Now,
we still want to have
are all of those real levels 9 and 10, or is it like one level that's just a cutscene?
It might be, to be honest, I forget how they break them up, but I just want to make sure that we have enough for one thing.
Maybe we'll have to fill the end of next week with something else, which is fine.
Possibly, but I just figured, I figured a lot of people are going to have a lot of things to say at the conclusion of this, so I think for the credits wrap up, we'll have a lot to discuss.
Point blank, it's like speed run it.
Yeah.
No, I think we're going to call it here.
I did actually speed run some of the earlier things just to get to this stage, but this is like the big chunk of it, so I just wanted to make sure that we didn't go a little too far. But once in a blue moose, thanks for joining, and we certainly hope that everyone else, Zol, Point Blank, Herald of Oblivion, as well as our regulars and our old times, Phil Mysterious and John Cimino and the rest. And Ariel's in there as well. So thank you all for joining us for our current run-through of Halo 4.
And thank you, Leah Crow, for showing up. Thank you.
Oh, God, yes. We're so glad you feel so much better.
Glad, yes.
Well,
very much.
Or a little better.
Yeah.
Oh, and Yellow Jello, brand new. Thank you for joining.
Let
he wants
me
the
post
Discord.
the Discord again. Hold on. Do I still have that link on the page? I think maybe I still have it.
In fact, yesterday I was so afraid that you might not have gotten the cancellation notice early. You would have woken up and said, "Where the hell is everybody?" I would have felt so bad. So
I thought that was like a correction. I didn't realize that Friday was actually a thing.
Random times, and we came up. We just had a moment because we've been balls to the walls all
Funk
week.
wouldn't do Saturdays in this one window, so I thought, well, I tell you what, we could get through this faster if we do a Friday and a Saturday, and that Funk would be able to make at least one of them. But then it turned out no, we couldn't make either one of them, and you could make that one, and then Blackstar didn't feel well yesterday, so we just didn't do it.
Duck eggs, goddamn duck eggs. So, but everyone, I'd like to thank you so much for tuning in, and we certainly hope you'll join for the next time. Please check out our Rampancy.net schedule for all the advance notice on, or at least partial, of all the streams that we do. And feel free to check out all of our past and present episodes of all the games we cover on our YouTube channel at Rampancy.net. I am Blackstar, he is Nargajan, she is Leah Crow, we are Rampancy, and we certainly hope to catch all of you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Where are we?
And so you come at last.
Cortana, what is it?
We are Forerunners, guardians of all that exists.
Humanity stands as the greatest threat in the galaxy. The Forerunners have returned.